Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Christmas night. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Merry Christmas. I'm glad you're spending part of your Christmas day with me. It's an honor to me. I really appreciate y'all for that. Also, we got California Shoplifters. Hey, Prop 36 got passed. And if you want to go in there and engage in a career of boosting, stealing things and then reselling them, well, you might get sent to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. Depending upon how many times you've done that very same thing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have a very heinous crime from a New York City migrant. No surprise that that kind of thing would happen, but it's totally preventable. Can't wait till we get the Orange Man back. Can't wait till we get Tom Homan back. Can't wait till we get the country back away from the criminality that has gripped it over the past 4 years. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking about crime, Atlanta, Georgia, yet another story of a squatter. And this time, as it happened in Queens, New York City a while back, the homeowner gets locked up over trying to get the squatters out of the residence. What's going on with that? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, thank y'all for being here. Merry Christmas. And I just want to say something. I enjoy living down here, Tennessee, in the South, I guess you would say, Mid-South, whatever you want to call it. Appalachia also. Everybody that I've run into over the past few days has said Merry Christmas. And they make it a point to say Merry Christmas. Nobody says Happy Holidays. If you say that, hey, whatever. But down here, it's Merry Christmas. 100%. I saw a meme of the electoral map, and the red part of the map is Merry Christmas, and the blue part is Happy Holidays. That's what I found to be true. Anybody you talk to is Merry Christmas all the time. So shout out to you guys. Hopefully today's been good for you. No drama or nothing like that. I saw this video, I ain't gonna play it, but I saw a video of this young lady talking about her aunt punched her in the face. Oh, it was her girlfriend's aunt punched her in the face. I'm like, see, you bringing that kind of energy to a Christmas function, okay? And then the girlfriend's aunt that whooped her was also a bulldagger. Hey, I tell you what, you got any kind of lesbians that come around the house, Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's bound to be some violence. Ike and Tina, nah, how about Ikesha and Tina? That's the worst combination right there. My. And then, so the woman that got hit in the head was a biracial or something like this. And the woman that whooped her was a white lady looking like Demi Moore. And what was that movie where she was in with the bald head? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, she looking like that. She looking like she might have been fighting guys in the military for 25 years. That kind of energy was going on. Hopefully you guys did not have any of that going on, because we don't want no violence on Christmas Day. But again, shout out to you guys for being here. I most certainly appreciate y'all. We got quite a few clips and whatnot. I'm trying to get one set up right now. Now that I'm thinking about it, thinking about bulldaggers beating each other up on Christmas Day, I got another one. We'll talk about that. G.I. Jane, thank you. G.I. Jane. Yeah, she looked just like that. Straight G.I. Jane. Yeah. That's kind of what is going on. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted right there. All right, we got that queued up. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Merry Christmas. We don't do no Happy Holidays, not around these parts. Around here, in these neck of the woods, we say Merry Christmas. And that's what I'm going to do, God dang it. I'm going to say Merry Christmas. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. A little bit of everything. But first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to you guys for watching, for whatever you do, just for being here, coming through, supporting. You are the best sponsor. But also shout out to the other sponsors. Yeah, the others. You know, they're not as important as y'all, but the other sponsors, you know, they keep the lights on a little teeny bit. Shout out to Patriot Post. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or just go to the website directly, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ABLMERCH.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and you'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Democrat, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All that's right there on the contact page of the website. At least TikTok will be there until they maybe ban it. I don't know what's going on with them in the TikTok situation. Okay, so Trump says that he wants to save it after initially saying, well, we might got to get rid of it. Maybe he reconsidered, found out some things that made sense to keep TikTok. So there's a whole court battle going on. There's another, I think it might be some kind, I don't know. Was it a hearing or some kind of decision? Last I checked, maybe it's been changed, but the last I checked, if there's no action taken before January 19th, it'll be banned on that day from the United States. And Trump comes into office officially the next day, January 20th. Is it a coinky dink? Is that just something that happened, a random occurrence? I don't really know, but that's what's going on. So we'll see if they're going to ban TikTok or not, but they might end up doing it. I'm not really a TikToker. You know, I'm not 12 years old. Shout out to you guys who are on TikTok. I'm just old anyway. I'm old and I'm slow to change. Like I said it a million times before, I did not have my first full screen smartphone until I want to say 2018, 2019. I had to get bullied into doing it. People around me had to tell me to do it. I was still on my BlackBerry with the physical keyboard in 2018. I did not want the full touchscreen phone, but I got forced into it, so here I am. So I'm probably the same way with TikTok and things like this. Okay, I'm a dinosaur old man shaking fish that cloud. That's me. Go back to the old days. That's me. That's how I am right now. I'm the uncle that I would cringe at when I was a young guy who was talking about everything being better in the 70s and whatnot. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. But of course, if you're ever wondering if you are conversing with me on the interwebs or not, a little bit of common sense, please. If it's some guy in the comment section talking about he's ABL, and if you send him $100 in gift cards, he could change your life, please don't believe that. The method of communication also will tip you off. If it's some random email or 1,000-digit WhatsApp phone number, it's not me. If you get them on the phone and they sound like this, it's not me. I promise it's not. Okay? If you sound like some kind of Eastern European or some guy over in West Africa somewhere, I promise it's not me. All right? It's just not. Maybe it's a long way away distant cousin from 800 years ago, but it's not me. That's the bottom line. So please don't get scammed out of your life savings. All righty. All right. So we got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys again for being here. Merry Christmas. I don't think that this particular individual would like it if we said Merry Christmas. So that's why I'm going to say it. Aside from it always being Merry Christmas, that's just what we said. When you were a little kid, it's a tradition. Okay, you get up in the morning early. Look, Christmas time, I used to be so amped up. I'm talking about I can't even go to sleep the night before. I'm getting up at the crack of dawn. 5 a.m., I'm up. Hey, Mom, let's open the gifts now. That was me back then during Christmas time. So it's always a tradition. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, holidays, food, family, all of that. That's been the whole thing. But some don't really like the idea of Christmas. Remember Kamala? Can you imagine if Kamala won? Oh, my goodness. God forbid anything like that ever happens to this nation. Remember this?
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
And RIP to the headphone users, my fault.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Why would you say that? I don't understand. Like, why would you say, how dare we speak Merry Christmas? I mean, the things that some people do just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. I don't really get it. I don't understand. But hey, I'm glad we don't have that lady in office. All right, now this is really interesting. This person's decorations. Now look, how is your home decorated for Christmas? Do we have this kind of Wednesday Addams all black theme? Now look, I'm not gonna lie to you. The all black tree is kind of hot. The all black tree is kind of nice. If it was like if it had colored lights on it, or just white lights. It's a little weird, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, and my thing is, okay, you got black stockings, black Christmas tree with the black ribbon, black, but then you got some of these Nashville 2021 color hardwood floors. I mean, it's a nice house. It's a weird contrast between the all black and gray with the floor and the wall. It's a weird contrast. I would say go ahead and put some epoxy or something like that on the ground and make that be black. Go all the way with it. Go all the way with it. You know, the walls, do the whole thing. Smoke black, like a black on black vehicle. Do something like that. That'll really be nice. If you're gonna decorate like that, I say go all the way. Black tree with red lights. That'd be hot, Bob Griff. Absolutely. All white, red, black, silver. Hold on. It said everything got burnt in the fire. Everything got burnt in the fire, right? Hey, the people that live there live in the van down by the river now, right? R.I.P. to Chris Farley. Can I play that? I don't know if I could play that because I think SNL going to get on my hind parts. So I ain't going to play that. But shout out to Chris Farley. Hey, to the young people, if you don't know who Chris Farley is, if you don't know who Chris Farley is, what I want you to do is look up Chris Farley SNL Down by the River. One of the funniest things that has ever been on television back when SNL was actually funny. They're not funny anymore. They're just kind of soft and woke now. Back in the 80s, 90s, that era, Chris Farley, that whole Adam Sandler, all them guys, classic. All right. And here's Trump back in the day. Remember this? Where he was on the phone call with the kids on Christmas. Tommy Boy, hey, NDR and Tommy Boy, one of the funniest, fat guy in a little coat. Oh my God. Nothing like it. Comedy today sucks in comparison. Here I go, old man shakes fist. Comedy today sucks in comparison to what comedy was back then. All right. Now it's just like it's race and vulgarity and politically correct. Back then it was just more funny. But this is a throwback clip of Trump and Melania answering the phones on Christmas. I love this.
You still a believer in Santa? Because it's 7, it's marginal, right? Are you still a believer in Santa? Because it's 7, it's marginal, right? You just enjoy yourself. Where are you from, Coleman? Well, honey, happy Christmas. And you just take care of yourself and say hello to your family, okay? Say hello to everybody.
All right, so there we go. Hey, you still believe in Santa Claus? Hey, man, you 7, it's kind of marginal. It's like right there. Trump just, I don't know, he's a funny guy naturally. A funny person. I mean, you can't really script some of the things that he does. Now, this is something that he just posted. That was an older clip back when they were in the White House the first time. This is a more recent thing that he posted on Truth Social.
President of the United States, it's my tremendous honor to finally wish America and the world a very Merry Christmas. For Christians, this is a holy season, the celebration of the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. More than 2,000 years ago, the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary. He said, "Do not be afraid. You have found favor with God." The angel told her that she would give birth to a baby boy, Jesus, who would be called the Son of the Most High. 9 months later, Christ was born in the town of Bethlehem. The Son of God came into the world in a humble stable. Whatever our beliefs, we know that the birth of Jesus Christ and the story of this incredible life forever changed the course of human history. There's hardly an aspect of our lives today that his life has not touched. Art, music, culture, law, and our respect for the sacred dignity of every person everywhere in the world. At Christmas, we give thanks to God and that God sent his only Son to die for us and to offer everlasting peace to all humanity. And we recognize that the real spirit of Christmas is not what we have, it's about who we are. Each one of us is a child of God. That is the true source of joy this time of the year. That is what makes every Christmas merry. Above all, during the sacred season, our souls are full of thanks and praise for Almighty God for sending us Christ, his Son, to redeem the world. Tonight we ask that God will continue to bless this nation, and we pray that he will grant every American family a Christmas season full of joy, hope, and peace.
So there we go. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to our president back in town. Shout out to him. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to all you guys on this Christmas. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your holiday. Now, we got some sports going on. I covered the story about the NBA. I ain't gonna talk about the NBA too much. I'm not quite sure how much you guys really interested in NBA basketball, but the NBA is unwatchable. As other sports surge, like football, I'll talk about that in a minute. Football, it's like at an all-time high. Well, I ain't gonna say all-time high. Football has the highest ratings now since 2015. The highest ratings since 2015. But the NBA, on the other hand, has fallen off 48% in ratings since 2012. It's so much going on with the NBA. They're woke. You got these coaches talking about how much they hate white people. You got the players moving from team to team. There's no stars. Everybody plays the same. It's some 6'7" biracial dude named Jalen shooting threes all day long. And it's the same guy on the next team and the next team and the next team. They're all the same. As like they got robots to just shoot basketball. And then the thing about it is, it probably would be better with robots because you can actually have the robots make the shot. These guys in the league are breaking, laying the brick house with all these threes. It's an ugly product. They're cheating. The refs are obviously sports betting, blowing the whistle at the wrongest times because they got a parlay on the game. It's clearly some fixing going on because of the gambling, the widespread gambling. It sucks. It's real bad. But one of the main things that sparked their decline was the wokeness. It was a lot that's been going on over years, but the wokeness kind of sent it over the edge during the pandemic with BLM in the court. But the worst thing is the style of play. The 3-point shooting contest, and they all suck at it. Like, I don't want to see that. Where's the competition? Where is breaking somebody down on the dribble? Where is getting to the bucket? Where's the fun? Where's the Jordan era basketball that I grew up on? Seeing the highlights and the flashy and the tongue out and all of that. Where's that at? Where's the fanfare? Where's the show? Look, when you're talking about sports, you got to have a good show, good competition, and it needs to be honest. It can't be a rigged, fixed thing. If it's going to be rigged and fixed, let it be WWE, where you tell us up front what it is, rather than having the illusion of actual competition when it's not that. But yeah, the refs, I think the refs are gambling. For sure. That one guy got suspended or banned from the game completely, Jonte Porter, the player on the Raptors. He got banned from the game from gambling, but I think a lot of the refs are doing the same thing. Did you guys watch the NFL on Netflix? I don't watch TV. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't watch TV at all. So I've not watched football in years. I've not watched basketball in years. I watch some highlights, but to sit and watch a game, I don't do that. To sit and watch TV, I just can't. I've not watched TV probably since I don't know when. I've not sat down and watched TV since I was in my early 20s. So a lot of what's going on with television, I don't know, except from what I see on social media. But I saw that Beyonce had a halftime performance. Did you guys enjoy her? Hey, if you guys watch NFL on Netflix, did you guys enjoy Beyonce's performance? look, I got some of it right here. I ain't gonna play too much, but I'm gonna just show you what's going on with no sound because Netflix will snipe me for this. Okay, so we got Beyonce right there doing this big performance during the NFL halftime show from the games that were just on Netflix. And that's something else. I don't like sports leagues going to streaming services where you got to pay extra. Back in my day, you could just turn on ABC. You could have an antenna. You could just turn on ABC through your antenna for free and watch an entire game. The way that they made money was from the ads during the commercials. So why am I watching stuff on Netflix? You got to pay a whole nother service and other apps. They're trying to put NBA games on Tubi. I'm not going to watch Tubi for nothing. I don't want to see no pseudo Nollywood American movie on Tubi. So I'm definitely not going to watch the NBA on there. But Beyonce, I don't understand. And then they're trying to make her be country. Beyonce is not a country artist. Okay, Beyonce is not a country artist. Beyonce is a pop artist at best, but really like an R&B black music type of artist. She's not a country artist. Just because she's black or whatever you want to call her does not mean that she automatically can't do country. All that I'm saying is that she's not a country artist. She's no Willie Nelson. She is Carrie Hilson at best. Not even a Mariah Carey, but anyway. How do y'all feel about her? You know what? Nickelback got so much hate, but I say bring them back. A band like that is perfect for an NFL halftime game or Creed. If you want something with a little bit more oomph. If you want a little bit more gruffiness to the singing, you understand? Either one of those bands are fine. It's neutral, family friendly. It's timeless music. We all know the songs. Okay. If you in the bar and somebody's singing Arms Wide Open, drunk, everybody going to chime in and sing the whole song. With Beyonce, video phone comes on. What's that? I don't know that song. Exactly. That's my point. So yeah, any little kind of middle of the road, kind of, alt rock, not really too extreme, not really too right in the center. That's Nickelback or Creed. Creed a little bit more. Though bands like that are great for NFL halftime all day long. Yeah, hold on. Diddy Partier? Yeah, probably so. But really during the halftime game, my main concern is, okay, am I going to turn the channel right now? Because I've seen some halftime games where I turn the channel. Like, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to watch this. I don't need this right now. Prince did a very good job at a halftime game, halftime show, because he's Prince. He has good music, timeless music. And Prince is not going to go on there and try to start rapping because Prince don't rap. Prince ain't going to go on there talking about Achy Breaky Heart. He has a guitar, but he's not playing no country tunes. He's playing popular music, basically. R&B popular music. All right. So, yeah, moral of the story is stick to what you're good at. Because when you try to go on little side missions, sometimes it's not really what we want. Dead Mike says, ain't nobody trying to see Creed. That's goofy. Hey, man. If I did a poll right now and they said, and the poll said, I ain't gonna do the poll, but if I did a poll right now and that was to ask everybody, hey, what do you want, Creed or Beyonce? You know what the answer is going to be. And that's the whole point. All right. Did Prince rap a little bit? I must have missed it. So shout out to Prince. RIP to him. All right. Now let's keep on going. Remember this guy right here? Remember this man? This is a man. Listen, I got something to say about this right here. But what I'm going to say right now, hold on. Let me get myself together a little bit. This is Imani Khalif. Remember Imani Khalif won during the Olympics in boxing? And it was discovered that she is a man. This person came in third place for AP Female Athlete of the Year 2024. A man came in third place for AP Female Athlete of the Year. Remember the argument, the conversation about her talking about she's really a woman and she's not a man. First of all, if you have XY chromosomes, what does that tell you? That tells you you are a male. I don't care if you didn't know you had XY chromosomes. I don't care how you grew up, how you were raised. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's not her fault, ABL. She didn't know. He didn't know. Them didn't know. I don't care nothing about that. At the end of the day, that's really not even the concern. The point is that you have XY chromosomes. Therefore, you are a male. Therefore, you should not be qualified to compete against biological XX women. Am I saying something that's wrong here? Am I speaking Chinese? Is what I'm saying hurtful? Is it something that I should just leave alone? How do you rank number 3? How you come in 3rd place for AP Female Athlete of the Year when you have XY chromosomes? With testes that didn't all the way drop, you are a man. You're a man. So what's going on? Hopefully, you know what? If I had to wish on this Christmas, I wish that the world would get back a little bit more common sense. Hey, you know what? This person has XY chromosomes. That means they're a man. It's real simple. You got some kind of deformity or something like this. Okay, that's fine. That don't mean you're not a man, though. At the end of the day, it is what it is. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. KGH for life. This person, Amani Khalif, is a man who identifies as a woman and was allowed to compete at the Paris Olympics as a boxer and fight other women and, of course, win because you have a man fighting women. It's impossible for, I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but you're talking about trained fighters. The probability of a woman beating a man in a boxing match and they're both trained is slim to none. Now, if you got a Ronda Rousey in the ring with just a regular guy who has no fighting experience, that's different. She has a better chance. But trained people, it's impossible for a woman to beat a man. It's just not going to happen. The upper body strength, the physical dexterity, the bone density is just unfair. Now, this is crazy. Okay, so over in Europe, they're allowing that biological man to literally beat up women in boxing. That's what they're allowing over in Europe, in the IOC, whatever governing body of the Olympics, right? Now, still in UK, well, in Europe, but in UK, you could get arrested for a social media post if it triggers someone's anxiety. I'm not making this up. Listen, you log on to your phone, you see something that you don't like, you get anxious, you call the police. Hey, I'm anxious over the post on Twitter. I'm anxious, ain't it? And then they come to your house, no guns, and them little funny checkerboard hats, them checkers, rallies, French fries hats, come into your crib talking about your post caused your neighbor anxiety, and now we got to come pay you a visit. I'm not making it up. Let's check it out. All right, let's get a little bit of sound, and RIP to the headphone users in advance.
No. Just which Hampshire police would realise how ridiculous this is.
It is ridiculous.
It is. Good. I'm
glad to come to this.
What did it need to come to?
Tell us why you escalated it to this level, because I don't understand. I posted something that he posted. You come to arrest me. You don't arrest him. Why has it come to this? Why am I in cuffs? Because of something he shared, then I shared.
Because someone has been caused, obviously, anxiety based upon your social media post. That's
not his.
Why you've been arrested.
No.
Anxiety. Your post caused someone anxiety. Now we're going to come pay you a visit, at least 3 deep. People getting arrested over this. UK, really? Is that what we're going to do for real? I mean, come on. People sometimes can get triggered by anything. You go outside and see some rocks on the ground in the wrong place, that might cause you anxiety. Are we going to go try to look at security cameras and see who put the rocks on the ground in the wrong place? Okay, somebody had a leaf blower outside, and some of the leaves get on your yard. Like, we going to call the police for that? Is that what we're going to do? You got 3 leaves in your yard that weren't there the night before. You're anxious, thinking that somebody's going to do something to you, and you want to call the police? Really? I mean, that is so silly. You would think that there's bigger fish to fry in UK. Like, I don't know, some of them stabbings in London. Give me the keys, isn't it? Give me the car, isn't it? Stab, stab. Maybe that should be what they focus on rather than social media posts. Maybe, just maybe. Now look. Okay. So somebody apparently got Kamala Harris's signature tattooed on them permanently. All right. What did he do? A social media post that was offensive to somebody and caused them anxiety. Therefore, the person who was offended called the police, and the police showed up trying to arrest people over a social media post. Oh, yeah. In other parts of Europe, you can get locked up behind social media posts. I think Canada might be the same way. If you post something that is offensive to some people, the LGBTQ element of PX, Y, and Z community, you post something that offends them, they might want to lock you up over that. I ain't talking about sending a bomb threat or nothing crazy. I'm talking about you posted an offensive meme. Somebody start crying, and then they call the police on you. They tattletale on you as a grown person. I mean, I don't know how we're going to really do in the future if that is what we're producing in a society. If you call the police on somebody for a meme, you need to just do something else with your life. Figure out a different way to cope with yourself. But anyway, so here's a person getting Kamala's signature signed first. So Kamala signing the signature first, and then the person takes the signature and gets it tattooed permanently. So you see my man, he already got a bunch of tattoos already, like a sleeve. He just added Kamala's tattoo to his sleeve. All right, we got music in the background. That's that Beyonce. All right. So, hey, you know what's the funniest part about this? Hey, I'm gonna go right back to the tattoo. Did you guys see what I see? I saw it real quick. The funniest part about that tattoo, if you see something that I saw, or you think you know what I saw, let me know in the comments from that tattoo before I go back to it. Now, somebody asked me about cooking with Kaya. That's why I got to come back to Uncle ABL. That is a 100% Uncle ABL topic. But I know exactly what you're talking about, boss. Cooking with Kaya has a lot of the community in the uproar because she's pretty and she cooks and she's feminine and a lot of men like her. But I'm going to do that on Uncle ABL. That is a really Uncle ABL topic. At the end of the day, I like what she's doing. I think she's pretty. Not my type. Kind of a, the kind of person that might want to fight you on TikTok. Like, punch you in the face. I don't know. Not really my type personally, but she's really pretty. People just hating on her. But anyway, so maybe you guys didn't see what's in the tattoo. Let me show you. What I see right there is a deer. So that's kind of how Kamala was throughout the whole campaign. Deer in the headlights. Deer in the headlights, not knowing what's going on. Scared, afraid, not knowing what's going on. But a crash out, had no problem crashing out. It was a meme of a deer running away when they hear a sound of a twig, but then straight pipes, 70 miles an hour down Interstate 75, they standing right in the center road looking dead at you. That's Kamala Harris. That's pretty much what she is. So it's fitting that her signature on this guy's sleeve is right above the tattoo of the deer. So yeah, shout out to the deer in the headlights, Kamala Harris. Hey, man, they give me all the material. I don't do nothing. I don't say nothing. They give me all the material. All righty. Yeah, Winston be cooking with Kaya. Yeah. Hey, we all in the community, black males especially, we love that song. We love it because we love her. All right. Now, this guy's going to ask these people right here a question. And once he asks the question, you already know the answer to the question. All right.
I know you voted for Biden.
Yeah.
I know you voted for Biden.
Yeah.
Hey, that right there was a layup, man. Sometimes they say, hey, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes it's appropriate. Sometimes you just know kind of what's going on. Maybe he might have been wrong. Maybe he might have misjudged, but normally, yeah, you pretty much can tell a Biden voter from a mile away. So shout out to that individual right there. Hopefully everything works out with your decision. Now we got a young lady who's upset with her father and blocked him over his Trump vote. Hopefully in the future, she sees this and kind of cringes. What's happening right now, in my humble opinion, is people are having these rebellious teenage phases late in life at like 25 and 26. All right, let's check this out.
Good morning. I took yesterday to be angry and miserable, and I also took yesterday to make the decision to block my father, who will still end up seeing this. So, hi, Dad. And yes, I did block him because of who he voted for, because he knows that I am trans, and he knows that I have had 2 abortions, and he still voted for Project 2025, which to me is reprehensible. I have my husband who loves and supports me to the ends of the earth. I have my friends who love.
Huh? You're trans, you had 2 abortions, and you're married to a man? Again, this is somebody that's just confused. You done already been pregnant. You probably got kids. I see the car seat in the back. You have kids, and you got a husband. Why not just be a married woman and live normal? Why not just do that? That's the rebellious spirit in you. You're a married woman with children. Just be that. Just be that.
Love and support me to the ends of the earth. And I have other family members who love and support me to the ends of the earth. And I genuinely do not need anyone else.
Somebody said, read her shirt. So it says, fornicate thyself. I can't see the rest of it.
I realize this is something not everyone is able to do safely. And I'm very grateful for my ability to do that safely. I cut my mother off until the day she died. And I can and will do that again.
Well, look, what I'm hearing right now is somebody need therapy. You got some real problems. You cut your mom off, your mom until she died. Really? That's not very nice. And now your dad got cut off too. What did your mom do?
Good morning. I took yesterday.
Okay, was that it?
I'm grateful for my ability to do that safely. I cut my mother off until the day she died. And I can and will do that again.
Yikes. I mean, I think we can see the problem with the trans people. I think we can see the problem, right? Mental illness. I mean, I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a doctor. I don't have all these PhDs and LBCDEFG behind my name, but I could tell somebody's not right. I could tell that. It don't take that much to figure out when somebody's not right. You hate your mom and your dad. You're a married woman with children, but you say you're a boy. Something ain't right. So yeah, hopefully you get that together. Get it together. Let me get another one. This guy got fired. He worked for University of Oregon as a staffer.
I'm done crying.
All right, and RIP to the headphone users. But this guy got fired. Now, I'm not quite sure what the pronouns are. I'm not quite sure if we're dealing with a biological XX or XY. I don't know. Nowadays, I can't tell. If I see like an older Gen Z millennial, an older millennial, and some Gen Zs, if they look like this, I don't know what to think. A septum piercing, white guy. I don't know. It could be anything.
My sadness is over. My anger has set in. I am a very petty person, and I am very proud of that. Love it about myself, actually. And so I say this in the most disrespectful way possible. I don't care if you are my family. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if we've been friends our entire lives. You can literally go fuck yourself if you voted for Donald Trump. If you are so sad about your groceries being expensive, get a better fucking job. Do better in life. Get a fucking education. Do something. Because you are fucking stupid. And I hope you go jump off of a fucking bridge.
Alrighty. That's not very nice, man. That's not very nice. Hey, you know what I would say? Hey, man, you're going through a trying time. We got to just, get it together. And also, some of the policies that are on the books were not very favorable. So you could be doing everything right. You could do things and work by the book. But when the government gets in the way, that's an unnecessary hurdle that we got to climb over. So that wasn't very nice. But he got fired from his job at University of Oregon for that. Yeah, he got fired. Now, on the other end, we got people that are actually appreciative that we got the orange man back and that Kamala and the dementia patient are gone.
Sound crazy right now.
Let's get some sound. There we go. And shout out to him. This guy is Aquarius. The TikTok account this comes from is Aquarius Wave, but it might not be him. If y'all know his thing, I'll let me know in the comments.
Sound crazy right now, but I am genuinely thankful for these two bozos right here and their time in office. Because if it had not been for these last 4 years, I don't think most Americans would have gotten to actually see for themselves just how deep this rabbit hole goes. We would have not gotten the insights that then led an Elon to have an awakening, a Tulsi Gabbard, an RFK, a Joe Rogan, guy who was a lifelong Bernie supporter, okay? If we had not seen what the left truly is, what the so-called Democratic Party actually represents, which is the establishment. If we had not had the shit show of a campaign that was run between these two, Queen Cackles and Joe Carcass Biden himself, I don't think most Americans would have woken up in the way that we did.
And you know what? When they won in 2020, I was saying the same thing. I was like, you know what? Maybe America needs to really understand how good they had it under Trump. Maybe America just needs to see how bad the other side is. And it's exactly what happened. What happened during 2021 to right now, almost 2025? The border being wide open, illegal aliens taking over, dominating cities, dominating the crime in the area. We saw the story about the guy who burned a lady on the subway and watched her burn. It was crazy with that guy. They tried to say that he came into the country in 2018 under Trump. They say that and don't tell you the rest of the story, which is how dishonest the mainstream media is. Before we get to that story about the guy on the subway, this guy tried to cross in 2018, but he was captured, and within 7 days, from the time that he tried to cross to the time he was deported, it was 7 days. So he was deported right after he was apprehended in 2018. He came back in the country at an undetermined time, most likely under the Biden-Harris administration. They don't know when he came. He was in New York City with all the other migrants. He probably came in that same wave through the border. And then what does he do once he returns? Delete somebody. Well, I don't want to say it like that, but you understand what I'm saying. He took a woman's life right there on the subway platform. And there's stories like that all over this nation. Somebody going to blame Greg Abbott talking about, oh, he busted him there. Greg Abbott said, shut the border up. Shut the border up. It's not his fault to keep bringing the migrants to Texas and overrunning them. They don't want to stay in Texas. They want to go to other parts of the country. They don't want to stay in Brownsville, Texas. They want to go to New York City, Chicago, Denver. They want to get the monies and benefits, all the free things that the government of those places hands out to them. They don't want to stay in some random South Texas place. They don't want to do that. It's not his fault. Greg Abbott was the guy trying to shut the border off, and the government was sooner to keep it open. So you got to thank your federal government under the Biden-Harris administration for the migrant crisis and the inflation. And we got all these foreign wars all of a sudden that we're trying to get into. We got Taiwan cracking. We got Israel still going. We got Ukraine still going. Volodymyr Zelensky comes to the White House with his hand out. Can I please have some money, please? That's a lot of money for the war. A lot of money for the war. $20 billion. You come in there with some pajamas on every 2 months for an allowance from the sugar daddy called Joe Biden and the administration. That's what's going on. People don't like it. They saw it. And you know what? The biggest concern for the American people, it doesn't matter if you're a black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe, is a migrant crisis. And I think maybe the migrant crisis and the inflation are 1A and 1AB. It's right neck and neck. One is not that much more important than the other. It's all tied together. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to my man for pointing out what we all know to be true, that many Americans did not know how good they had it under Trump. And when the Biden-Harris team came in, they saw how bad they are. The incompetence off the charts. Off of the charts. Now we got Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin says he's left the Democratic Party and ain't gonna go back. And they're asking him why. Now, Joe Manchin was senator in West Virginia. And now the previous governor, Jim Justice, took over his spot. I don't know if Joe Manchin is going to just be retired from politics or what. But let's see what he says here.
Do you still consider yourself a Democrat?
I am not a Democrat in the form of what the Democratic Party has turned itself into, the national brand. Absolutely not. And they know that. They're all good people on both sides.
But what do you think is the reason for, you said you're not a Democrat. What caused Joe Manchin to divorce himself from the Democratic Party?
Here's what I told them. I said, you ought to figure out how you lost somebody like me. I was born as a Democrat because of my grandfather's love of FDR. I was a very strong Democrat because of my family's love of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I came through the whole iteration. And then I was a Democrat in West Virginia, and it's always been a 75-80% plurality of Democrats, registered Democrats. But there was a split. I was never in the liberal side of it. I was never in the establishment side. So I always had to fight my way through.
What is is it a shift on social issues?
Yeah, the brand got so bad. The D brand has been so maligned from the standpoint of it's toxic. And the D brand is basically this, I've told him, I said, first of all, as an American and as someone in Senate, and I'm going to take the Constitution, oath of the Constitution that I take very, 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 very seriously. I'm going to help every human being pursue the happiest life in their life.
So what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about what he's saying as far as Democratic Party just going crazy? The brand, the national brand is just ridiculous. And what he's saying about West Virginia, like the way West Virginia works, it's not a loyalty to one party over the other. It's the party that makes the most sense. All right, you come into West Virginia and you said you're going to shut the coal mines down. Okay, that ain't going to work. We're not going to vote for you because the entire economy is based on coal mining in West Virginia or chemicals in Kanawha County, like that area. So what else is it? Ain't nothing else there. So you come and talking about you're gonna kill coal, renewable energy, learn the code. That is a losing message. If Democrats have that message, they lose. If Republicans have that message, they lose. If anyone has that message, they lose. It's not a matter of people got country folk kind of twisted. They think that, oh, you just love Trump, you want to worship Trump. Nah, they're doing what's best for them and their household. They're not going to vote for a party that's going to have them worse off in their life. They're going to vote for those who are going to kind of get out of the way and let them live to their maximum ability. And of course, you got a lot of poverty. So food stamps and whatnot, if you're going to be against government assistance, things like that, they're going to be against you too. So that's why there were so many Democrats in West Virginia because of that. You got extreme poverty in these places that's different than what average Americans are used to. So they're going to need that help from the federales. That's kind of where they are. And a guy like Joe Manchin fit onto the Democratic side of that. But then when talking about transgender surgeries for children, it's like, nah, now you guys are just doing too much. Doing way too much. What we want really is the ability to do things to take care of ourselves. That's what we want. And if the government's going to get in the way, that's going to be a problem. All right. Now,
I don't think.
Here's Stephen A. Smith talking about voting Democrat. I like Stephen A., but I got something to say after he talks about what he's got going on. All right, let me make sure the sound and everything. Hey, shout out to the people that make these clips. Can you please get the sound mastered properly?
I don't think anybody could dismiss Donald Trump at this particular moment in time, not just because of him, but because of what we've seen the Democrats do. We're not falling for it any longer. The American people aren't falling for it any longer. I voted Democrat, and I got to tell you something right now. I don't like the fact that I did. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're about law. We're about a law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But then you go out and you pardon your son and you try to blame everybody else for it. I don't want to hear about defund the police. I don't want to hear about, there should be open borders. I don't want to hear this stuff. And I don't think most of the American people want to hear that. And I'm no longer interested in, nor do I believe any of us should be interested in in listening to a bunch of fear-mongering to tell us who we shouldn't vote for. Why don't you come up with a plan that tells us why we should vote for you?
All right. Now, the thing about it is, Stephen A. Smith, you say all that, but then you voted for Kamala Harris. In 2024, you voted for Kamala Harris. Every time I see you, you give a reason why you shouldn't vote for the Democratic Party. You don't say why you shouldn't vote for the Republicans. All you say about the Republicans and why you voted for Kamala Harris still is that you don't like Donald Trump. So what, though? So what? You say that Trump is divisive. You say that he's hateful. But you see which side has the better policy. You see which side is better. So you talk about it all the time, how bad the Democratic Party is. Why would you vote for them? If you hate Trump so much and you're just going to totally ignore all the good that he's doing, all the good the party is doing, all the good policies, things that you like now, you're going to ignore all of what you like, all the policies you like because of one guy. Why would you then go vote for the other side? You might think that Kamala's an okay person. You might not despise Kamala as you do for Trump, but look at the policies. So look, Stephen A. Smith, your decision was between a guy you don't like because you think he's divisive with beautiful policies that help the whole world and you personally. And on the other side, you have this lady you don't know very well at all. You might like her a little bit. And the policies are the worst thing this planet's ever seen. So you're going to vote for the worst policies? If the guy is so bad you cannot vote for the good that he's doing, just don't vote. So, I mean, his message, look, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to hate because I'm good. I'm like in a great space in my life. But some of these guys that come on YouTube and start talking, they're inauthentic. What you're saying right now doesn't make any sense, Stephen A. Smith. And there's a lot of people that say stuff like that. It's just like, are you an actor pretending to be a conservative voice? Is that what you are? Shout out to the authentic guys, whether you got 100 million subscribers or no subscribers. Shout out to the authentic people. I don't like people come on here and flip-flop and say things that don't really add up to me, in my humble opinion. So, yeah, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. I appreciate some of the conservative talking points, but I want you to be consistent and for real as a person rather than kind of flip-flopping and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that. Not really a thing that I'm into. All right, but yeah, shout out to him. Hey, do you guys like Cyclists? Speaking of people that do things they shouldn't be doing, how about that? That's a good segue. Cyclists. How do you guys feel about Cyclists? Now, this caption says 130 plus skaters flooded Young Street earlier today. Caught this on camera.
Like everyone else, you stop! I will break your window.
Say cheese!
I will break your mirror. I will fuck you up. All you need to do is stop. Okay? So you sit here. I know, but I'm the rear guard.
Can you call 911?
Go ahead.
I'm just going to record. I'm not involved.
Well, how do I get your number? Go ahead. So, last year, one of you cunts over one of the kids. Yeah?
Don't drive in the middle of the road.
We own the road now! This is our road now! Stop! You wait for us! You wait for the Palestinians?
Okay, now look. Cyclists, y'all just doing too much. And always doing too much. I saw a cyclist in downtown Chattanooga. This dude had a bike that had to have been about 15 foot tall. And he was swerving in and out of traffic on a bicycle that was 15 feet tall. Like, maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it wasn't 15 feet, but it looked like that. I'm talking, this bicycle was so high. Bicycle now. I don't think it was a unicycle. I think it was a bicycle. This bicycle was so high, he was above the delivery trucks, all of that. In and out of traffic. It's like, bro, stop. If I hit you because you swerved from my blind side, it's your fault. If I hit you, if you came, okay, I'm driving this way, you come up this way on my blind side and swerve right in front of me in your rinky-dink little contraption you got going on, and you fall over and you ain't wearing no helmet, you got your shirt off, a pair of boxing shorts and stuff like this with flip-flops on, if you fall and bust your head open, it's not my fault. You did it to yourself, man. So, hey, shout out to the cyclists who don't crash out like this, who are just regular normies and don't do all the extra. Shout out to you guys. If you're just cycling, roller skating, rollerblading, whatever you got going on, minding your business, cool. Slapping my hood on my car. Hey, how do you get road rage on a bicycle? That's crazy. That is totally crazy. Griselda says, I ride on my bike on the trail, never in the street with cars. Hey, I appreciate that. 100%. Vegas Strong says, well, you should see the bike run on the strip in Vegas and you can't do nothing. Oh, I can imagine. Vegas is a weird place, man. Vegas is like a big playground for adults. Vegas is like, it reminds me of Funscape back in the day in Virginia, this 2-floor arcade. I remember going in there like, wow, this is amazing. Like, you get 2 floors of arcade, you could just go and explore. That's how Vegas felt. That's how it was. It was like, I don't know, it was weird. It was like Idiocracy in real life with all this real big stuff, just big for no reason, games and ding, 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 and sensory overload. It was a mess. It was a big playground. It was a big arcade. That's what it was. That's how the whole city is, in my opinion. That's how the strip is. Now, look, some of these cyclists are dead serious, though. My man has on an all-white outfit, first of all, all white from head to toe, like he's a mocap character. He about to go play in a video game or something like this and do all the motion capture. But on the back of his shirt, it says, armed cyclist, a pistol drawing with a green outline. Okay. And he has these sticks, I guess you would call them, coming from the left side of his bike that have flags on them. And it says, take your lane. So he's trying to make himself be bigger. Hey, you know what I say? Bro, you know what I say? Get a car. Get a car, a regular car. Put your bike on top of the car. You got all this going on, all these lights. Okay. Epilepsy, all this, you get epilepsy lights on the back of your joint. These sticks. Get a car. How about that? Get a Toyota Camry or something like this and call it a day. And that way you don't have all these contraptions and stuff on your body. And you got your pistol. Where's your pistol at? So yeah, hey, shout out to the cyclists who don't do all that. That's just a little bit too much. A teensy bit too much. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Exactly, Jeep Guy. Hey, Jeep Guy says, $10 says the car wins in the crash. 100%. Hey, all them lights and the flags and whatnot ain't gonna do nothing when somebody don't see you, and next thing you know, you're gonna be flipping up in the air on your bicycle. That'd be a terrible way to actually get injured. A bicycle get hit by a Ford Bronco or something like this. That'd be terrible. Anyway, shout out to him. Now we got a guy on the airplane crashing out. Hey, I don't know what it is with airplane crash outs. That seems to be very popular nowadays. Everybody want to get a little bit, I don't know, man. I don't know. People just kind of think they could just do whatever they want, wherever they want it. I propose, I don't know. I think that there should be a soft background check on you in order to fly certain airlines. That's what I think it should happen. Soft background check, something simple. Have you been to jail for assault, battery, something like that?
Sir? Go up to the front. Sir. Come on. Hold on, let me go. Big guy. Hey. Okay. Come on. Okay. No, we're not going to have that fight. We're going to go here. Hey, I didn't get in your face. Daniel.
See, now, this reminds me of my situation when I was on the flight. I didn't need to get up and get in the dude's face, though. I didn't need to do all this. I just kind of said a few words that hit home, and then he went ahead and got up. Because I know if this is happening, I know I'm about to fight. And really, I ain't gonna do all that talking. Once you get right here, I'm gonna just hit you in the face right there. But like I said, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna just sit down and say my words. Because if you get right here, it's gonna be a fight.
Get out. I have a ticket. Yeah, I have a ticket. No. Hey, you let's go. Hey, 311. You took me first. Yeah, let's go. Okay. 311.
Oh, there it is.
Now! You got it, cuz? You got it?
All right.
Now, I think white guy's off-duty cop, if I'm not mistaken. For me, listen, I don't know what the dude was, what he was talking about, but that was inevitable. That was going to happen. As soon as they got up and they got close like that, it was going to be a fight.
Now, put your hands down and don't touch anybody. Put your hands down and don't touch anybody. So am I.
I'm right here.
You're gonna walk or you're gonna be next.
Now, lady in a tank top, you're not helping. I know you think you got dude energy. You think you have male energy, lady, but you're not helping. Just go ahead and move out the way. Hey, at that point, everybody need to clear the aisle. You in here trying to like add your assistance. I'm helping. You're not helping.
Walk! Walk! Turn around and walk!
Let's go.
Turn around and walk!
Thank you, guys.
Turn around and walk! Walk! So am I! Walk! 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 Let's go. Walk!
She's still helping in the back. That's funny.
I've never seen this in my
Give my man a bear hug from the back. I'm helping. But yeah, sometimes people got to get deplaned, man. It is what it is. You got to get deplaned. You got to go. So I guess they got him off. That's good. Now, was this the guy that was getting? Nah, this might be a different flight. And then somebody played the soundtrack to the kickoff, to the exfil. So there it is. Hey, gotta play that Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David. Shout out to Larry David. Hey, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I feel like it's a dramatically underrated show. Dramatically underrated. Maybe it's just me. Now, one more about airplanes. So we got a meme here. Not a meme, but like one of these TikTok videos where it's just like a caption.
Airlines
and a video that's barely a video. So the caption says, airlines make their product smaller every year. Then they blame us for not fitting. If your car got smaller every year, wouldn't you be peed off? Now listen, I mean, at the end of the day, airlines are going to make the seats for average people to be able to fit. If you are way, way, way above average, that's your fault. Okay? It ain't like, it's just, okay. I'm not a small person. I'm not a big person either. I have no problem sitting in airplane seats. It don't matter if I'm on Frontier, Spirit, Delta, American, United, whatever I'm on, I have no problem. A middle seat, aisle seat, window seat, I'm good. I'm 6'3" and 200 pounds. I'm straight. If you can't fit, but I can, that means you're just too big. You got to just figure out a way to get some of that weight off of your body.
Airlines make their products.
Hold on, let me just play the audio so you can hear it.
Airlines make their products smaller every year. Then they blame us for not fitting. If your car got smaller every year, wouldn't you be pissed?
So it says seats are getting smaller, seat belts are getting shorter, and they pack us in tighter so they can make more money. But when we can't squeeze into tiny seats, it's somehow our fault?
Are getting smaller, seatbelts are getting shorter, and they pack us in tighter so they can make more money. But when we can't squeeze into their tiny seats, it's somehow our fault. I'm done letting airlines make us the problem when it's them causing it. Airlines.
A petition for what? Like, for real, the solution is don't be 500 pounds on the airplane. You might need to get shipped in the cargo vehicle. You know what I mean? Put yourself in the crate and get shipped via Amazon overnight. Go about it that way. Put some pillows, something in your neck so you don't get rusted up in the flight. But now, seriously, I mean, actually, you know what? If you're not able to fit on rides at amusement parks or in an airplane seat, that should be motivation to get your life together, because you got a problem if you can't fit in those seats. They're designed to fit the majority of people. Only a small minority are not going to be able to fit, and that's you. So you got to tighten it up. You got to get it together. Now, Shout out to PragerU. PragerU got a good interview here. They got a good scoop. So remember In-N-Out Burger that closed in Oakland, California because of the crime and the violence? They were able to get the owner of In-N-Out Burger. What's her name? Lindsay Snyder. The owner of the company, not just that location, the company. And she inherited the company, I think. I'm not sure, was it her father or somebody? She's the owner, and she's admitting that the reason why the store closes is because of the violence. Everyday violence is what she's talking about. Let's check. All right. And again, shout out to PragerU. Hey, Prager, Dennis, Big Homie, Triple OG. Don't give me no copyright on this, man. Please, I beg you. I beg you, don't give me no copyrights on the video. All right, let's check it out.
How do you decide on growth? I mean, you have over 400 restaurants, and I know you just had to shut down one in Oakland, which I'm going to guess why, but I'm going to let you make a remark. But how do you make these decisions, whether to grow or to shut a store down?
It was just absolutely dangerous. There was, out of 365 days, I think almost 300 days, there was some type of event, some type of thing
in
happening.
Oakland.
Out of the year, 365, 300, something was going on. Some kind of crime, violent incident, or whatever. Let's keep going.
In Oakland, yeah.
Like what, robberies or violence?
Car burglaries, violence, fights, theft, you name it. I mean, there was a lot. There was actually gunshot went through the store. There's the stabbing. There was a lot. It was
and you've
bad.
never shut a restaurant down before.
No.
And so this must have been pretty
huge,
hard.
It was huge, but we, for the safety of our associates, we just felt like this is not okay, So, and the amount of time it would take for the police to get there too was alarming. So on the positive note, we are very strategic. In-N-Out is conservative in a lot of ways when it comes to growth. And
now they might kind of go a different direction right there, but you heard it straight from the owner of In-N-Out Burger. She's saying it right there. It was too much crime. Out of the days in the year, the majority of the days, you had some kind of crime and violence going on. Some kind of shooting, fight, car breaking, of course, all of that going on all the time. All the time. Yeah, Oakland, California, man, I wouldn't, you could not pay me to live there. I don't see how anybody does it, really. I don't get it. It's just, It's just too much going on. So yeah, again, shout out to Prager University. They were able to get the In-N-Out Burger owner, Lindsay Snyder, to speak on what's happening with the actual store in Oakland. Now, speaking about crime and violence, we got Tom Homan speaking about Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. You know Brandon Johnson. I don't know this guy, Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson's the kind of guy that will call the police on somebody for a social media post because it triggered his anxiety. That's that kind of guy right there. Why do you have a coward like that as mayor of Chicago, Illinois? A city that has been notoriously run by gangs going back to the Al Capone days, and now we got Venezuelans and we got the black gangs and the Latin kings. Might be some mafia there still. When you have those kind of individuals and element in the city, why do you have this soft person who is also incompetent in there? It doesn't make any sense. How do you even get to the point where you're able to run for mayor if you're just a soft pansy that has two brain cells to rub together, barely? Let's watch this from Tom Homan talking about Brandon Johnson.
Mayor of Chicago, not a real bright guy, says Tom Homan isn't welcome in Chicago. Well, guess where Tom Homan's going to be day one? Chicago, Illinois. You don't want me there? Come get me. The people of Chicago have spoken. I went there a few weeks ago. The black community's upset. The whole community's upset because violent crime is up. And millions of dollars in public services are being given to people who are not supposed to be here. Meanwhile, the tax-paying community that is in a bad way because the Biden administration's economic plans, they're getting robbed every day by giving millions of dollars to people that aren't supposed to be here. Mayor.
Right on. So shout out to my main man, Tom Homan. I can't wait. And you know what? I was talking about the anticipation of Christmas that I had when I was a child. It was always a big event. Like you up 5 o'clock in the morning, night before you can't sleep. But what I have a lot of anticipation for now, what I'm looking forward to right now, is Trump coming back in office. January 20th cannot come quick enough. Get the orange man back in there. Get Tom Homan in there. Close the border immediately, instantly, day one. As soon as you clock in, ding, all right, border closed, instantly. That's what I want. Instantly. Because the country has had enough. We've had enough. Now, speaking about migrants, we got this going on. This might be Europe. This might be Europe, I think. So this is a worldwide problem. But the same kind of thing is happening here.
Welcome to the Dragonfly Hotel. New recruitment. 3-star. Overlooking a lovely picturesque bit of river. You love it. Cup of tea out the back, bit of cake. Victoria sponge. Yeah? Where you guys come from?
Inside.
Before here?
Don't pay attention to them. Come on.
And it's always one of these, always white liberal female, thinking she's, Johnny Do-Good. Always her getting in the way. Hey, you know what? I got a funny story. I wish I could find that video. R.I.P. David Carroll. If you know David Carroll is on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about when I told this story. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But David Carroll went to, I think it was a Black Lives Matter march back when that was going on back in like 2020-ish time. Maybe before that. He finds a group of black militant people. And they were talking about random things, what we got to do for the community and all this, that, and the third, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff, some politics, some social stuff or whatever. Now, as he's talking to the guys, he spots one thing. The first thing was their little short bus they had. A short bus, where you would kind of be in a special kids class, you had a little short bus. Nothing against them. I'm just saying these adult men had a short bus that they had reclaimed and painted with the red, black, and green, the African flag, whatever they want to call it here in America. They painted it with the RBG colors. They had a short bus with that on it. So he sees a short bus. Then he sees the leader of these black guys out here marching. It was lady that looked just like this. White lady, white liberal lady. And she was ordering them guys, hey, get over there, go over here. She had a clipboard. I was like, did this white lady really drive these guys down in the short bus to come out here and protest? It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my adult life. I was like, what? And these are grown men, old men, pawpaws, with this young white liberal woman running the whole show. The guy was talking to David Carroll. The lady comes over like this. He stops talking and then does what she says. I was like, oh my Lord, slavery has not left us. But anyway, let's go back.
Don't pay attention to them. Come on.
All the new mattresses. Been spotted by staff. Security's already here. It's locked. You right, come to do a video on the hotel.
For what?
For YouTube to let the locals know that you've moved on 146 illegal immigrants.
Just give me a second.
Okay. How long have you been here? Huh? Did you move on here recently?
Here?
Yeah.
This is private property.
I'm here to document what's going on at this hotel for the locals. What are you screwing your face up for?
Don't give me that. Excuse me?
What? She's screwing her face at me.
We don't do that. We've got a job to do, okay?
Yeah,
Just
okay.
unload furniture.
You're gonna offload some furniture?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand there and film it.
No, you're not.
I am.
Because don't give consent to be in it.
Well, some people wouldn't give you consent for what you're doing.
So you see what's going on here. You see kind of what's happening. You got these things facilitated by certain people. So when people talking about the migrants, especially in Europe, and talking about the migrant invasion, you got to ask yourself, why is a migrant invasion happening? Who is allowing it to continue? Who is sponsoring it? Who's the ones that are really behind it? And that's your answer right there. It's you. It's people that are from your own. It's an enemy within. It's the enemy within. You know, that's the reality of what's going on. All righty. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. So back to New York with the migrants. And we're going to get to the whole thing with the subway guy in a minute. So this guy, there's a New York Immigration Committee. This guy had to move 4 times in a year. His wife needs English classes. He needs childcare. He needs a bigger home because, hey, man, they got a daughter that's 2.5 years old, and she needs her own bed. You know, we got to get more space. He don't want to move anymore, and there's no citizenship here.
We're asking for official help to improve our living conditions. We've had to move with our children 4 times in the past year. And the living conditions are extremely difficult.
Au cours de ces déplacements, ma femme avait une grossesse très avancée.
And for much of this time, my wife was in the late stages of pregnancy. And her health was she was at risk. Our daughter, who is 2.5 years old, has to sleep in the same bed with us. So my wife would really like to take English classes, but she can't do that because there's no childcare. And also we're told that she doesn't, because nobody has citizenship, that our daughter doesn't qualify for.
Stuttering right there. To say what it is. Call him illegal. Like, she's so afraid to even say the reality of what he said. Like, don't be doing no stuttering. Just translate what he said.
Childcare. We're asking.
But hey, you know what? That's quite a bit of entitlements because there are Americans who want to do certain things in their life and they can't afford to do it because they don't have childcare either. So what you want? Like, you think you get like special treatment or something? Like, I don't understand. If Americans are having those kind of issues and we don't get any kind of help, then why should an illegal alien? I don't get it. You get some kind of audacity to try and ask for all of that while you're here illegally, just getting money for yourself, extracting from us to enrich yourself. Don't do that. Listen, you want to come over here illegally, take whatever you can get. To ask for that is just crazy. It's totally crazy. Totally nuts. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the migrants. Okay, shout out to the migrants for that one. You guys are really, really out of control. Now, do I have more about the migrants? Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get to the subway guy. I'm going to get to the subway guy, and we're going to keep on moving here. Hold on. Actually, where I want to start. Okay, well, speaking about subway, I'm not quite sure what this is. I think it might be Seattle. Yeah, Seattle. So a bus driver got deleted in Seattle. So somebody killed the bus driver because the person who did it admitted he killed his roommate, but he was released 72 hours later. So within 3 days, he's out after he confessed to killing his roommate. Why would you let a guy out who confessed to murder? That's free out of Washington for you, ain't it?
Hey, can you guys move this way for us, please? Get out of the way. Hey, you with the one with the green hoodie looking at us. Come over here with your hands up. You're not free to go. Come on out. Hey, drop your bags right there. Stop. Turn around for me. Walk backwards slowly towards me. Put your hands behind your back. Thank you.
Watch your step.
The suspect was booked into the King County Jail for investigation of murder. Again, he was just there. Hey, you know what? I got a novel idea. If a guy is arrested and they have him in the police station and he says, yes, I killed my roommate, maybe you might want to hold him there for longer than 72 hours. Just maybe. Is that something that makes sense to y'all, or is it just me? I feel like I'm saying things sometimes that just don't make any sense because they don't want to do it. They don't really get it. I don't understand. The soft on crime policies are ridiculous. They're totally ridiculous. It don't make any sense. You letting illegal aliens come in here, do whatever they want to do, give them all kind of resources. People that have said they killed people, you want to let them out in the streets. We've seen that quite a bit. People get released that shouldn't be. That one guy from the Innocence Project who was released, who was clearly a murderer. Hearing him on Joe Rogan was clear that something was wrong with the guy. What does he do when he gets out? Kills somebody else, chops the body up immediately. Another guy in New York was arrested on suspicion of murder. They let him out. He killed somebody. He killed somebody that night when they let him out. I'm just saying, man, we gotta go back to being kind of hard on crime. And if you do things like, if you do hitman type stuff, you're a paid killer. You can't be let out in the streets. Okay, all you know is a life of crime. You are a paid hitman. Your career was killing people and getting paid for it. You shouldn't be let out of the penitentiary. You should be getting the rope. And we saw that Joe Biden coming to a bunch of sentences. I mean, what are we doing, Joe? Can we tighten up a little bit? Now, here's AOC talking about the subway. I think I played this before, but I got to play it again for the subway video.
That he would do it again if necessary, if there was a present threat. What do you make of the comments?
Well, doesn't that, I just feel like that tells us everything. If we do not want violence on our subways, and the point of our justice system is a level of accountability to prevent a person who does not have remorse about taking another person's life. I mean, even people who have engaged in manslaughter or have taken a life accidentally express remorse. And so the fact that a person may express no remorse indicates that there's a risk that it may happen again. And if we do not want to unleash that level of violence, then we should exert a level of accountability to prevent that from happening again.
So that's AOC talking about Daniel Penny. Like, oh, we got to do something about Daniel Penny, because if we don't prevent Daniel Penny from doing what he did again, it's going to be, listen, Daniel Penny is a hero. As I've said from the beginning, people are going to want a Daniel Penny to be on the train with him, because you got a bunch of lunatics running rampant in New York City. Migrants, illegal aliens, criminal aliens running rampant, drug addicts running rampant. Sometimes it's both. You might have an illegal alien crack smoker just doing anything and threatening regular everyday people. All right. Now, this guy, I'm not sure I can actually play. I can't really, I'm going to play a news clip, but I'm going to just show you this right here. So this is the cover of New York Post from, what's this? Monday on the 23rd. You see what it says? Migrant fire horror, arrested after woman set ablaze in subway attack. A migrant from Guatemala. And when they say migrant in this case, they mean illegal. Listen, illegal alien. So an illegal alien from Guatemala has been arrested for allegedly lighting a sleeping subway rider on fire in Brooklyn on Sunday morning, then watching as his innocent victim burned to death in what New York's top cop called one of the most depraved crimes one person could possibly commit. And you see, this is the picture of the incident. Obviously, it's blurred up, so you can't see the person. Top left-hand corner, that's him sitting on the bench watching her burn. Also, there were some cops that came by that were kind of lackadaisical, like, oh, it's a burning person. I mean, can we get a level of, a level of concern, a level of urgency, maybe? Here's a clip on NBC. Let's see what they say. I've not watched this, but I want to check it out. Or they got Matt Gaetz trying to get him, but I saw that coming.
A man suspected of setting a woman on fire on a New York City subway is facing murder and arson charges. That's as we learn new details about the suspect in custody. That's him right there, leaving court just in the last hour or so. This video just in. ICE saying in a statement the man is a Guatemalan citizen who appears to have entered the country illegally for a second time. And police say a woman sleeping on the F train, back to the crime here, was brutally murdered by that suspect. Graphic video capturing the moment it happened. We're going to show it to you, but we want to warn you. It can give you a chance to turn away if you don't want to see it.
Yeah, we don't got to see that, actually. But you can see what's going on, right? He's sitting right there on the bench watching. Now, the police are able to get him, but this is why a Daniel Penny is needed. And then sometimes people are getting attacked in public on the subway and nobody does anything. People are going to ask why. Where are the men? Why don't the men step up? Well, when the man steps up, his life gets ruined. Daniel Penny. So why would someone risk their life and their freedom for someone else that they don't have to do that for? Again, Daniel Penny's a hero. He risked his life and his freedom to help strangers. That's a commendable thing. And like I said, people have seen things on the subway. They ride it in New York a lot. They see people get attacked. They see the crazy crack people. Like somebody's on drugs, out of their mind, all in your face screaming. They see it. And matter of fact, hold on. What I have here is kind of I have the white liberal woman explaining this kind of stuff away. It's an older clip, but it fits. It fits here. Then I'm going to show you some recent clips, people talking about their subway experience. All right. Antara says, let the women have the bear help them. Yeah, there you go.
I was hit at one point sitting on the subway by a man who was having a mental health episode. He sat next to me and he was elbowing and kind of flailing around and hit me in the face and in my body. And it was jarring, right?
Pause. Before we go any further, I'm going to start from the top. This is a Sam Cedar Majority Report. I don't know her name. Is she a regular? I don't know what that is. But this is a liberal, very liberal show and a clearly liberal person. Now, if you didn't hear what she said from the beginning, she says that she was attacked on the subway. And again, this is an older clip, but it fits. Let's keep going.
I was hit at one point sitting on the subway by a man who was having a mental health episode. He sat next to me and he was elbowing and kind of flailing around and hit me in the face and in my body. And it was jarring, right? The idea that I would want him to be hurt in any way, I just didn't want to be near him in that moment because I understood something was going on here. Every one of us who's taken public transit has had this kind of situation, something similar happen, seeing someone struggling. That doesn't mean that our fear in that instance, and I was a little scared because I was hit.
It's a problem. Like, it's people that need help.
But my fear is not the primary object of like what we should be focusing on right now. It's the fact that this person is in pain. And so like the politics of dehumanization privileges the bourgeois kind of concern of people's like immediate discomfort in this narrow instance, as opposed to larger humanity and life. It's really freaking twisted.
Yeah, I just
see what I'm saying? That's a problem right there. See that lady right there? It's the same person we saw earlier in UK facilitating the illegal aliens. It's the same thing, same energy. The guy hit you. He elbowed you right in the face, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want him to get hurt." Lady, is he gonna say that about you? This guy's just throwed them bows all in your head. I don't want him to get hurt. That's a problem right there. Anyway, let's keep going here. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got more. Oh, there's more. Now, yes, this is one who says she got attacked on the subway recently. Okay, she was attacked recently on the subway. All right, let's check.
Today, I was attacked on the subway platform at the Bowery stop. Oh, sorry. It was just really scary, and it's never really happened to me before in that capacity where I was cornered. The man just basically like chose that I was in his way, basically, and I couldn't get out of it. I put up my arms, I defended myself, but the man ended up punching me in the face, and then he tried to tackle me, but there was like a wall right behind us, so I didn't fall or anything, which is like good, I guess. There was a lady behind me that grabbed me as well. It was at the Bowery stop in the Lower East Side. What I basically am posting this for is to just like really stay alert of your surroundings, even if you have headphones on. I didn't have headphones on or anything. I was just standing there, and it was just like a poor situation that I was put in. Girls, guys, anyone, like, do whatever you can to get out of the situation. Scream, fight, kick them, whatever you can to just get out of that. As much as I hate to say, like, it can happen anywhere, but New York definitely, like, big cities and stuff like that, it's definitely going to be more common. I hope that it doesn't happen to anybody else, but it was, like, the first time that's really happened to me that I couldn't avoid it, and it was absolutely fucking terrifying. In the end, I am physically okay, thank God. Mentally, I'm very shook. Obviously, I still live here, and I'm still gonna go, end up being at the Bowery stop at some point. It was just really terrifying. Please do anything that you need to get out of that situation, because the consequences won't be worse than you getting hurt or, God forbid, something worse. So stay aware and be safe.
All right, so there we go on the safe subway system. We got another one. This is not New York, I don't think. It's Chicago. Chicago.
I'm so fucking done with public transportation in Chicago.
I'm sorry for all the cussing. I wish people would just not curse, but maybe I'm like the last of a dying breed. I guess everybody got to use curse words every 2 seconds to communicate.
And the bus driver's not giving a flying fuck about anyone that's on the bus. Like, I understand it's not their job, but like, I get on the bus and I sit in the back and this man comes on after me and he's like, get the fuck, move. So I get up and I move closer to the front because I'm like, whatever, I just don't make eye contact. I don't acknowledge him. And then I'm sitting there and 2 seconds later he chucks his iced coffee at me and it's all over my coat and my pants. So at this point I'm like confused and I'm scared, so I just don't know what to do, so I just sit there. And then he starts yelling and he moves and he sits right next to me and he's like yelling in my face. And I don't know what to do, so I get up and I move next to someone. I'm like, hey, can I sit next to you? To this random person, and they're like, sure. So then he takes soy sauce packets out of his fucking pocket, chucking them at me. And then he starts singing Silent Night and he's screaming Silent Night in my face. And I'm like trying not to cry at this point because I'm fucking scared. I don't know what this guy's gonna do. He's throwing shit at me. He's in my face. The bus driver's doing nothing. No one's acknowledging me. But I didn't want to get off because I'm, number one, so far from my house. Number two, I didn't want him to follow me because then I'd be even more scared. So I just ride there and I sit there and he's screaming in my face for like 5 stops. And I'm like, fuck this, I can't do this anymore. The girl next to me was getting off. I'm like, I'm getting off because no way I'm getting off with no one else. So I just got off and now I'm fucking 500 miles from my apartment and I don't want to get back on the bus. It's not coming for 25 minutes. An Uber's $30, so I'll be walking home in the blizzard. Fuck the 8 Chicago. That's it for me.
Alrighty, so 45 curse words later, we got the story out. Basically, you get beat up on the bus, dude's crazy, singing Christmas carols in your face, loud, throwing soy sauce at you, iced coffee at you, all of that. That's kind of random and specific. Iced coffee, you gonna throw that at you? And then why is he carrying around soy sauce packets? Were the packets open? Were they just plastic? But hey, I'm trying to rationalize crazy people. There's no rationalizing them. Listen, when you're dealing with a crazy person and your safety's in jeopardy, hey, you know what? They get real sober when you pull something. Hey, when you pull that thing out, they get real mentally sane. All of a sudden, they're not crazy no more. And if they want to be crazy at that point, well, that'll just end those problems right there. But hey, you're in Chicago. You're not MAGA country. So having a pistol, that might be a little difficult for you if you're a law-abiding citizen. New York, same thing. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You think it's a fake story? You think he's lying? You know, with the way things are nowadays, it's so many people that just get on the internet and say whatever. I wouldn't even really doubt it if she was lying. All right. I wouldn't even doubt it. But yeah, let's go back here. I got some more. All right. Oh my goodness. The stealing. So we got, or you guys in California have Prop 36. Prop 36 says that there's going to be increased penalties for shoplifting. Finally, because the famous dollar amount in California, $1,000. Anything below that, they're not going to prosecute. So basically, they gave the boosters a green light. If you don't know what a booster is, basically somebody who steals things and sells them for a living. That's what they do. Back in Virginia, it was the girls that would steal designer clothes and sell that. I never bought anything from a booster. I wasn't that kind of guy. But that's a big thing. So they legalized boosting to the point where they had professional teams come into Walgreens, CVS, any kind of store, any kind of retail store. You could just take things off the rack and put it in your bag. They come in there with black trash bags, fill the bag up, and go about their business, because you can't prosecute me. The security ain't gonna do nothing, because what's gonna happen? You go call the police and they're not gonna do anything. So what's the purpose? They're not gonna retrieve the items. I'm gonna just go about my business and that's it. But since Prop 36 come into place, let me show you what it says right here. So hold on, can I just move this? Y'all give me a second, I'm messing up. Okay, look. So it reclassifies thefts under $950 as a felony if the offender has 2 prior theft convictions, and it increases penalties for repeat shoplifters. So that's Prop 36. Now, long story short, you got prior offenses, you're a habitual line stepper, as they say. You're going to get with a felony if you get caught again doing the same thing. So shout out to these guys that posted this. I think this is, what's this? The SEAL Police. Shout out to you guys who posted it at first. So we got music in the background. I ain't gonna play too much of that. But what you can see are these girls coming into the store, getting ready to steal. All right, so you see them. Got the little boots with the fur, all that good stuff. They're in Ulta, still in makeup. And had a nerve to get the bags from the front to steal it in and stole the bags. And the bags are not meant to be taken. So just all around bad. And here comes the police. They might be following at this point. Then they go to Kohl's. So they're going from store to store, like somebody would go Christmas shopping. They're going Christmas boosting. Stealing $237 worth of stuff. Okay. And they got the same bags from Ulta on them. So you can't make it up, even if you try it. Oh, I see the little Telford bag. You know what's funny about this? These girls would go steal all this stuff and then go buy a bunch of materialistic things that don't even make a difference. You're not going to invest that into your physical health, into your education. You're going to go buy random stupid stuff like the boots with the fur. You're going to buy that with your criminal proceeds. And at the end of the day, you're going to be broke wanting rent money, although you steal for a living. So there we go. Holding it in their hand like this, like it's a trophy, like it's a bottle in the club, doing all that jazz. And like I said in my first video, I'm surprised they ain't hit the post office USPS truck, because people of their ilk would do something like that. So there they go. The police on them. Are the police following them from store to store? Maybe they are. I'm not sure. All right. And then they pop out. Boom. All right. Oh, girl right here. The jog is not really doing very well. She gets tackled. Queen Latifah set it off, braids. Get ready to go to the penitentiary. So they get everybody, round them up, throw them in the paddy wagon. Let's go.
So gonna walk all over you.
That's a felony? Bitch, new laws. Stealing is a felony. And this is Orange County, bitch. Don't play. That's why I asked what county is this. That's where I went to jail last year and got on probation for a year for stealing out of Target.
I just found me a brand new box of med.
Yeah, so I mean, this is them like and the thing about it is they know the law. They know, or at least the one girl did. She know what's going on. Because this is what they do for a living. People think, oh, they're trying to steal for bread and they're poor and they just, what would you do? No. Don't give them an excuse. They prey upon your sympathies to carry out criminality. They prey upon your sympathy, your soft heart, your bleeding heart to engage in criminality legally. Whatever kind of laws you put up, they'll operate within the laws. And if they don't, they know they're about to go to the penitentiary. When you have stiff penalties for certain things, it removes the incentive to do it. If I know that I might get 5 years in the penitentiary for stealing from Ulta, maybe I'm not going to do it. If I know that I won't go to jail at all for going to Ulta and stealing, then I'm going to do it. if I'm a criminal. You have criminals and the laws are for them. If they break the law, they got to go. Law-abiding citizens don't got to worry about laws that target theft because we don't steal. It's them that got to steal. So yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to them. Yes, Prop 36 is here. Now, speaking about stores and looting and stealing and whatnot, here's a bunch of stores closing in December 2024. Let's check it out. What's closing in 2024? I know I saw Big Lots. They're going to close all the Big Lot locations. Shout out to Big Lots. Hey, hold on. Before we get into this, Big Lots is one of my favorite stores because I don't buy furniture from Big Lots. I had my mattress I had for a long time from Big Lots for the low. I've bought probably 3 mattresses from Big Lots for other people and for myself. I bought a mattress from Big Lots in 2017 and I just replaced it this year. And the mattress was like $400 or something. It wasn't a lot of money. And it slept great. It was a great mattress for a low amount of money. I would never go to mattress discounters and get slapped in the head for $2 for no mattress. Big Lots was a great store, but they're gone. All Big Lots are closing. So yeah, you guys love Big Lots as well. Hey, I know you guys are my people, of course. Of course, we all gonna love Big Lots. All right, but let's go back to this here. I'm not quite sure they're gonna put Big Lots in it, but they are closing. We put up the Big Lots story first, just to make sure that I'm saying the right thing, which I know that I am. Okay, so here we go. Let's put it up right here. This is from 12/20, so just a few days ago. Big Lots is closing. Every store going out of business sales will be held at remaining locations in the coming days. The embattled discount retail chain, which filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection earlier in the year, said it was unable to reach a deal to sell itself. So they're going to close everything. They're done completely. So RIP to Big Lots. RIP. They are a great store. I used to go there all the time. I've been there a lot. Whenever I need certain things, they got me. All right. So let's check it here. What stores are closing in December 24? Party City closing all locations. Big Lots closing all locations. Advanced Auto Parts closed over 700 locations in 2025. Macy's closed 65 locations. Okay, Denny's closed 50 locations, and some of this is cut off. It's a TikTok video repurposed. Let me see. Sears just closed one of the first locations or final. Walgreens closing hundreds of locations in the next few weeks probably. Sam Goody was still open? Wow. They holding on for dear life. I wonder where the final 2 Sam Goody stores are. That's a music store, right? And who's buying music anymore? Nobody. Not in the store, at least. Foot Locker going out at closing hundreds of stores. Yeah. Family Dollar closing a lot of stores. Yeah, a lot of these low-end retailers are going to have a hard time. GameStop announcing mass closures next year. CVS closing more stores. Rite Aid going to close more stores in 2025 after closing 800 this past year. You see Penny, a lot of stores closing. I thought Rite Aid was gone. I thought they had been pretty much out, bankrupt. There's Rite Aid, CVS's near where I'm at that were always busy that are closed up, boarded up. Circuit City been gone. That's what I thought. Family Dollar, Rite Aid, all of that. JCPenney. Circuit City been gone. They've been gone for a long time. A lot of the malls are closing. The old school mall that we grew up on, if you're my age or right around that, maybe even a little bit younger, the malls we grew up on are coming to an end. Some of the malls are still jumping, but a lot of them, they're coming to an end. And people want to go to more, they want to go to strip mall type stuff, a newer, refreshed version of a strip mall. the old school stuff from the 50s and 60s or 80s is just not the same anymore. There's a mall close to where I used to live in Virginia where you go in there, it's carpet in the stores. It's like real old. It's just old. It's just tired and worn down. You got to just do something new, something different. And of course, people are not going outside as much. People are using delivery apps, DoorDash. I've never used DoorDash, not at my house. I did it one time when I was in DC, and it was so weird. The girl walked from Chick-fil-A with my sandwich. I'm like, I could have done that. But I don't want anybody to come to my house and they come in a shady car. They got a dirty car. I'm not trying to have the funk of their vehicle on my food bag. I'm the kind of guy that would go pick up a pizza that I order. I won't even deliver pizza. I would go to Papa John's and pick it up in my truck. Throw it in the truck bed like a suitcase. Boom. That's what I do. You're not delivering no food to my house. If you do that service, shout out to you, but I can't. I can't. I don't even like going to Chipotle and doing the drive-through. I like to go inside and see them actually do it. That's the kind of guy that I am. But I learned it from my dad, though. He was the same way. Dad would never have nothing delivered. If it's pizza, he's going to go pick it up. If it's a fast food store, he always went inside. He never did no drive-through. He would always go inside. McDonald's, always inside. Always pick stuff up. So I got kind of that same habit with me. Let's see here. Do I have more? I got more. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I would show this, but it's a little bit too triggering. There's a family. I'm going to just say what happened and keep it light. So there's these two gay guys that adopted children and they wind up abusing the children. I'm not going to say too much more, but of course they adopted boys, 9 and 11. I'm not sure how old they were when they were adopted, but it come to find out that they were abusing them and they were engaging in widespread abuse with other people. They got 100 years in the penitentiary each. Now, I'll tell you what. These two young-looking white dudes in prison for doing that, oh, boy. Listen, they are going to die right away. It's not even about, dropping the soap is last of their concerns. You about to get strangled in somebody's cell. Oh, man. I've heard stories about that. Like, I heard a story where it was a guy who said that one day they're in jail, they're in prison, and there was a weird knock. And after the knock, the guards brought in this guy. And they saw the guy, complete chomo from head to toe. The Dahmer, wireframe glasses, white guy, funny mustache, fat, the whole thing, right? Obvious kid diddler. So what happened was they put the guy in the bunk in the room with this big, tall, giant black dude, right? This dude, I forget what they called him. This dude had life sentences, was never coming home, giant, big, never talked. So when they put that chomo in the cell with him, you know what's going to happen next. What he did to that man is unspeakable. To keep a long story short and not be too graphic, the guy did not survive the night. The Dahmer looking fat dude. And the weird knock was to let them know that what you think he is, he is. He appears to be a kid diddler. That knock confirms it. He was dead that night. So yeah, I hope that happens to those guys that assaulted those children. And can we say something else though? How do y'all feel about gay men adopting children? How do you feel about that? Because at one point that was not allowed. That was not allowed at one point. Should we go back to that? Or is that racist? Is that sexist or homophobic? You let me know. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right. Now, here's what Trump says about anybody that gets caught trafficking minors, which is what they were doing.
When I am back in the White House, I will immediately end the Biden border nightmare that traffickers are using to exploit vulnerable women and children. We will fully secure the border. I will wage war on the cartels just as I destroyed the ISIS caliphate. 100% gone, 100% destroyed. They'll come back now because we have a weak administration. I will use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries and without delay. And I will urge Congress to ensure that anyone caught trafficking children across our border receives the death penalty immediately.
Right on. I'm with you on that one, Trump. Hey, the orange man back in town. We're not playing no more games. It's a wrap. You want to engage in child trafficking, all that kind of stuff, man, you got to go immediately. Immediately, you got to go. Okay, so the squatter situation in Georgia, I got to talk about that.
They've been squatting, and if they have to get somebody killed, they'll do it.
Calm down. From Clayton County Sheriff's body camera, you can see the homeowner, Lalitha Hale, taken away to jail. Not the alleged squatter at this Livingston Drive home.
She's going to be charged with criminal damage to property for all of your belongings. Criminal trespass as well for her coming in here.
Now, you heard the cop. The criminal trespass is going to be the homeowner, because the homeowner was trying to clear her house out from the squatters after she got a court order that said that she was entitled to come back to the property. But the method of her removing the property was somehow illegal. She needed some kind of writ of this and that. She's been in court for months over this whole situation with the squatters. There was a bill that was passed to try and stop this, but the bill itself was cited as the reason why it cannot be stopped in the way that she wanted, meaning taking the property back and moving in. Let's watch.
The night on a mat, on a concrete floor, in deplorable conditions, while this woman, this squatter, slept in my home.
Lalitha Hale says this all started back in August when she called police after finding Sakimia Johnson in the house.
How can she not be a squatter when I don't know this person? I've never had any type of contractual relationship with this person.
But a Clayton County magistrate judge ruled under the new Squatter Reform Act, Sakimia Johnson did not qualify as a squatter because she is related to a previous evicted tenant's partner.
Are you hearing that? So look, the the judge says that the squatter is not a squatter because she's related to a previously evicted tenant. Okay, hold on. I gotta say it one more time. They said that the woman who's a squatter is not a squatter because she's related to the previously evicted tenant's partner. So, all right, I'm your best friend's baby daddy's cousin, barber, mechanic. So therefore, I'm not a squatter. What?
Its partner.
I was written in citation about a lawful squatting and an order. A judge signed the order denying it, saying that I wasn't a squatter.
That started a multi-month court battle, filings and appeals. Johnson even filed for bankruptcy, listing Lalitha Hale as her only creditor. But November 18th, a magistrate judge ordered a final judgment in Hale's favor. Hale says she thought Johnson moved out.
Returned on Monday to start painting. And she had broken the locks and re-entered my property. She just pulled up out of nowhere, and she had this guy with him, and I locked the door. I locked the screen door, and he forced himself in, telling us to get out.
I mean, really, I'm kind of getting upset, man, because these people, you know, listen, Big Mama, you know you're wrong for doing what you're doing. You know you're wrong. And you know what? That'd be the same person talking about, oh, you don't want to vote Kamala because she black. You are squatting in the black woman's home. It's not your home. You have no right to it. You have no right to this home. You're not a tenant. You're not nothing. You're just a bit back, eating food all on the ground, squatting for free. That's what you are. Get out of the lady's house.
Telling us to get out.
Hale admits she is still waiting on a signed writ of possession, meaning she has no legal right to evict.
We have to be notified of this. A writ has to be served, and we have to be involved in that for it to be a legitimate eviction.
Hi there, it's Justin Gray with Channel 2.
No one answered at the home when we knocked. The sheriff's deputy can be heard on body camera telling Hale to think of things from the alleged squatter's point of view.
But just think of it from this perspective, though. Everybody isn't as fortunate as you to have a bed. No, I'm just saying, a bed, the little things.
Bro, everybody not as fortunate as you. What they got to do with me? Listen, man, I'm not responsible for world hunger. Okay, it's kids in Africa that don't have a hot meal tonight. All right, what you want me to do about that? I'm sorry that's happening, but what am I going to actually do? So does that mean that because you got people that are suffering in this world that I'm responsible and I got to be a victim because they got a hard time? I don't care what you got going on. Listen, excuse me. I don't care what you're going through. That's not my business. Don't try to make me help you in your life. I don't know you. That cop was completely ridiculous. Young black dude, woke, idiot. You gonna tell this lady, look at it from their point of view? I'm not gonna do that. Listen, sir, Mr. Clayton County, Georgia, Atlanta area cop, listen. I'm responsible for me. If I got kids, I got them too. My household, people that live in my house that are not squatters is who I'm responsible for. This random stranger that broke in my house, I'm not responsible for this person. Check it out. Watch this. You can say, oh, well, hey, man, they're underprivileged. They need somewhere to be. They need some. All right, but look, check it out. If they did that whole break into my house thing when I'm there and I got that thing on me, they're going to get smoked like a hog, like a whole a Christmas turkey outside, fully thawed, no ice, no explosion. They're going to get smoked precisely. They break into my house when I'm there. Oh, they're going to get sent to the Lord up above. From their point of view, I don't care what their point of view is. Their point of view is going to be deceased if they come into my house at the wrong time. That's all I'm going to say right there, right? Their point of view is going to be 6 feet deep in the dirt. I'm just saying. So the moral of the story is don't break in houses. Don't be a squatter. And Georgia, please get the laws tightened up. Clayton County Magistrate Judge, please get the laws tightened up to not allow for people to get victimized. This lady is part of society, productive, working. She's a lawyer, work hard to get where she's at. And this dude going to talk about looking from their point of view. Man, nobody trying to hear that. Boy, I wish I was right there. If it was me, I'd have blew up. I'm talking about steam out of my ears. Like, it'd have been like that, man. No way. Privilege. So what? Yes, I got money. So what? What that got to do with somebody else that don't? What's that got to do with it? That's my life. That's not their life. Mind their business. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, that was crazy. Hopefully the woman is made whole. Maybe there's a lawsuit that she can file against Clayton County. I don't know. Something's got to give, because if it's your house, you own it, and somebody breaks in there and takes it over, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And you're going to arrest me? You're going to charge me for criminal trespass and whatnot for cleaning my own house up? Yeah, the judge. But see, the judge, it was a bunch of back and forth for months. And then the judge made a final, or the most recent ruling, in the homeowner's favor. So the thought process was, okay, we've succeeded. As she's tried to get the house cleaned up, I think what they did at first was they gained entry into the home and the people that moved out. Once they gained entry to the home that they owned, they began the process of cleaning up. But then the squatters broke back in and resumed occupation. So now the whole squatter thing starts over again. I mean, listen, Clayton County, Georgia, Atlanta metro area, please figure it out. Please tighten up. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Super chat zone. Let's get to these right quick. And we get to the calls a little bit later. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. We will get to that in just a little minute. But first things first, super chat. Take it to Kai's Posthumous, who says, Merry Christmas to you and ABL and everyone on the stream. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to Kai's Posthumous again, who says, I agree with Trump. Pardon me. I agree with Tatum. Just send the aliens out with Jalal. I don't know. I might be reading that wrong. Thank you to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, you working on Christmas? Much appreciation. Hey, it's all good, man. I rather would be doing things. I don't know. I like doing what I do. I enjoy what I do. Either I'm going to be traveling or I'll be doing this. Either one. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, Merry Christmas, ABL. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Thank you to Apple Blocker, All Puff Daddy, who says, ABL, your video on the current state of the NBA was phenomenal. It's disappointing that this once great league is now horrible. I don't like it when players wear different colored shirts under uniform. Yeah, the NBA, they fall off so hard. They really did. It's really sad to see. Football is thriving. Baseball is still doing pretty well. Yeah, it's to the point now where WWE has overtaken the NBA in ratings. And I don't blame them, because the WWE, any kind of wrestling, at least they're honest about what they are. If it's going to be the Washington Generals versus the Harlem Globetrotters, let it be that. If it's going to be Harlem Globetrotters, no defense, no fouls, traveling, 3-point contest, just let it be that. And if you're going to have that kind of product, I'm good. I'd rather would watch paint dry, to be totally honest. Apple again says, how about raising nets to 12 foot, move the 3-point line back? What they need to do is move the 3-point line back. You know what? You know what I would do, actually? Here's a novel idea. Remove the 3-point line. Remove the 3-point line. Hey, shoot from wherever you want to shoot, but no 3-point line. That's what I would say. All right. Thank you to Kaya's Posthumous, who says, Disney Parade was woke. I watched Macy's at Universal. Thank you to Apple again, who says, please tell Mr. Trump to stop trolling Justin Trudeau. It might help him get reelected since half the population are woke, like California or New York. Go Trump. Thank you to Apple again, who says, how was Christmas dinner, ABL? What's for dessert? Hey, just a regular old dinner. Shout out to you guys who had a good Christmas dinner. Thank you to Mr. Repurpose, who says, happy, merry, whatever. Wish to enjoy his holiday to all. Oh, you want a happy holidays kind of person. That's all good. We appreciate you, though. Thank you to Regina, the godmother, who says, Merry Christmas, ABL. May the Lord grant us all and our loved ones peace, joy, and goodwill. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Mojo for the gift emoji with the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thank you to Tony Hay Monkits for gifting 5 ABL memberships. Thank you to Coach99, who says, hey, ABL, what's your favorite Christmas present this year or ever growing up? How about you, chat? What's your favorite gift? Trump's winning 2024 is a great gift, I think. Well, that is a great gift, Trump winning the presidency. That's probably the best gift this year, I would say. But all-time best gift, I can't even really call it, man. The best gift for me is being around certain family members and some of those memories you have. You know, the memories, whatever kind of item you got, it may be here with you still. It may not be with you still. But the memories stay with you forever. So that's some of the best memories. I remember me and Dad going to Roanoke, and the first white pickup truck he had, a white Toyota pickup truck from the early 80s. It was like the cheapest model you could find. It had no AC, no power windows, no nothing. Like bare basic minimum, but that truck lasts forever. Hey, that truck lasted, I think my uncle still got that truck from the 80s right now, today in 2024. That thing was a rock. But I remember we went to Granddad's house in Roanoke from Norfolk area. And I remember it had, just a regular cab with no trunk space, just a cab in the back. And I had this toy. It was like one of them things you could like press and it would make noises. I'm young. I'm like 4 or 5 years old. We put it behind the actual seat of the truck up against the back of the truck. You understand what I'm saying? So the window, you sitting in the truck and the window's like right here. And there was a little bit of space behind the seat. I put the toy. I remember that very well. I was like probably about 4 years old. That's like a core memory. So things like that, those memories you never forget. All right. Thank you to Cinderella Charming, who says, may you and our wonderful class have a blessed Christmas and a very peaceful and prosperous new year. Bring on the Trump train, our hero, till we are sick and tired of winning. Appreciate you and all you do. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Mr. Wilk, who said, just popping up to say Merry Christmas. Thank you for that. Thank you to Rock Revolution 2, who says Beyonce is a brainwashing artist, just like Kamala. Thank you to Rock Revolution 2, who says top 3 news moments of 2024 ABL. Help, help, help. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? I need to do a top 10 stories of this year. Thank you for that. Actually, I need to do that. I need to do that video. A top 10. Oh man, the help was crazy. Man, listen. That was man, that's the wheelchair guy at the DNC. I cannot believe my eyes. I was like, are they really doing this? Are they really trying to translate? That was crazy. That was a crazy moment. Ern says ABL so white. I never hear that in real life. I only hear it online. People that see me in person would never say that. I've never heard that in my life. And when I was a kid, you would see certain kids that would get called white, right? That was normal, but I never got called white. They would call me kind of weird sometimes, or they might try to say, you know, I was always just like the funny kid. I was never called white. Because in reality, that's not. Anyway, thank you, Rock Revolution 2, who says Kamala putting the mark of the beast on people. Hey man, I don't know. Zeda's Kane Sword, thank you for the being a member for a long time, and also says Merry Christmas ABL in chat. Thank you to Stella H, who says ABL, you are the best on the internet. Thank you for being here on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you to Sherry Q43, who says happy holiday ABL. Have you looked at Illinois new laws concerning criminals starting January 1st? Have you heard about Biden's new stunt concerning government workers? I've not. I gotta check it out. Thank you to Whistling. I ain't gonna read your name. It's a little raunchy, but Whistling says all that good stuff. I appreciate you for recognizing that little catchphrase. Thank you to Phil Malone, who said Merry Christmas, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you to AR Smitty, who says, and these ladies are the strags that I have the nerve to call me Dusty. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, and he's talking about the shoplifters, of course. Thank you to Caius Posthumous, who says Newsom just gave 9,001,000 acres for reparations. To who? California didn't even have slavery. Reparations for what? They're so woke and weird. You know what's funny? Gavin may have given that money to a business partner. Yeah, get that money to a business partner. That's crazy. Bob K. MIT says, thank you. Been a tough year for me, but your stream and several in this chat have helped me a lot. Hey, we're here for you, Bob. Okay, so shout out to you. We are here for you. And thank you to Tony for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I really, really appreciate y'all for that. All right, we got time for the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number is always in the chat. Also in the ticker right here below me at a certain point. And also there's the email in the chat. If you want to get in on Skype, you can be right here. Bottom left hand corner of the screen. Hey, don't talk crazy or do nothing crazy. I will call the federales on you. All righty. Let's go ahead and get rocking here. Shout out to you guys again for calling in and being here. Let me get my sound together, and we got it. All righty, you're online. Skype call, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Steve again. And, this is probably like the third time I've called in like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. But I wanted to talk about, the squatters in Georgia. When you mentioned the squatters, I feel bad for the owners, the homeowners, because I feel like allowing them to go through the court system when these squatters are literally breaking in and there's evidence of lock picking and all that, like really the squatters should be arrested for criminal trespass, because, and this is like, I feel like this is allowing the squatters to continue to live there and taking months to get them legally evicted for being a squatter should be a crime, because like a federal crime like that goes against the state, because like the thing is, the Constitution was created to give us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that includes property. Like, people own properties for a reason. If they worked hard for that property, you don't want a squatter living there to cause the value to go down. That's just like, what's the point? Like, really, the Constitution should be applied to the squatter situation, not your local state law saying go through the courts and then pay for all the damages later when the squatters open all the windows while, turning on the heat. You remember the squatter in New York, in Queens, New York, where the parents, like, where this woman got a house after her parents died, and she was gonna, like, go sell the house and all that, and now they're like, the squatters moved in and ran up her electric bill. Like, nah, that's just like, no, this is a constitutionally terrible thing, because, like, they were putting open all the windows while having the heat on, and she couldn't do anything because she had to go through the courts and all. Like, nah, that's just terrible.
Yeah, that was really terrible, and that seems to be a problem affecting the entire nation with the squatters, and it shouldn't really be a thing. I think we need to just update some of these laws and fix the problem that we're having with the squatters.
Yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about was, you mentioned DoorDash. You said you would not rather people, walking, rather people, their car gunk in your food, smell their car. That's kind of funny to me. But, like, I gotta say, like, as a totally blind person, like, I'm actually totally blind, born and raised blind. I gotta say, it's hard to travel from place to place. Like, as a blind person, you have to memorize every single street, memorize north, south, east, and west, and you have to memorize every single stop that the bus stops at, because not every single bus has the audio thing. So, like, almost every time you have to memorize all those things, and so a lot of blind people, they use DoorDash, like, to get their food, because it's going to be really hard for a blind person to just get on public transport and walk over to, because, to do that, you have to now figure out when it's the right time to cross the street. And sometimes it takes 5, 6, maybe 7, 8 minutes to figure out that the light has changed, like, especially if it's a traffic light, because not every single intersection has those audio beeper things where you click the button and it says, cross sign is on to cross XYZ street.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I understand if you're blind, it makes perfect sense to use DoorDash or something like that. I totally get it, because you can't just hop in your car and drive. It's a little different. So I get it 100%.
Yeah, and I do wish I could see, because then I could hop in my car, attend social events, like, because public transportation stops working at a certain time. So if I stayed late at a bar, I'm on my own, probably walking home drunk, hoping that I don't get hit by a car, and probably guessing and hoping that I don't get hit by a car. Like, imagine walking home drunk and, like, getting hit by a car.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. You don't want that to happen to you.
So a blind person can never drink either. And so, like, this really has me kind of all sad, because I'm like 25 now, and I still barely have much of a social life. Like I'm familiar with the travel skills and stuff for buses and public transport, but again, a lot of it is just memory and street crossings and stuff, and it's just really, really scary to be crossing streets. Like, as much as they like to say, oh, but with enough practice, it's not going to be scary anymore. Like, it's scary. Like, come on, man. It's scary.
Right. I got you, man. 100%. Well, thank you for the call. As always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Now, some of y'all said that he was trolling, but I can see him on this side. Now, I saw him before, but I didn't put him up. I was just listening to him. I wasn't really watching the video. But then I looked at him. I'm like, yeah, I can see that he's blind. If you were to see him, you would like, yeah, he's not trolling. Shout out to my man for calling in, though. But I couldn't really tell before because I wasn't really looking. So yeah, I don't think he's lying at all about that. Let's go. 716 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Bill from Kansas, brother.
All right, man. What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Can't complain.
That joker you just had is pretty funny.
Yeah, cool dude. Shout out to him.
Yeah, man. Dude, I think what you do is great, and you need to keep doing what you're doing because you spread the word. I've been watching you for years.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I originally came from Buffalo, New York.
Alrighty.
And I left there because of the people from New York City. During that COVID, man, they ruined the country. They ruined the state.
Yeah, for sure. It's a mess with that whole COVID thing. That was. We're gonna look back on that and see a bunch of mistakes that were made.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah, I was getting kicked out of the store because I wouldn't wear a mask.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not going to return.
No, man. We got the man's back. The man is back. Things are going to go good for this country.
Absolutely, right on.
No. You got anything specific you want to answer me?
I mean, I'm just answering the call. So whatever's on your mind, you let me know.
Man, I've called you 100 times. This is the first time I got through.
Well, I'm glad you did, man. And thank you for the call. As always, man, definitely appreciate it.
All right, no problem, brother. Thank you. And thanks for doing what you do, man. Keep it up.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to where we at here. We got quite a few calls coming in. Let's go 904 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. My name is Nikki from Florida.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, not much, man. I'm on X a lot, and so I've been noticing one thing Elon Musk said tonight is the sort of the importance of retaining and attracting like top talent in the U.S. and it's particularly in like the tech and engineering sectors. And today he made a few statements that had become like super controversial, so I wanted to get your feedback on it. But the long story short is that he is he's saying that there's like a permanent shortage of like top talent, and that we should be trying to keep talent here in the U.S. And a lot of people are upset, saying something like he's like, I guess, being racist against Indian people or something like that, where he thinks that we should keep our top talent here in the U.S. and try to hire people. But then there's like this controversy because of immigration and things like the current controversies with immigration. But the weird thing is that we do hire a lot of Indian, like third-party people that are Indians from India to do a lot of our tech work. And I think it's because a lot of them are getting paid a lot less to do the same work that Americans would get paid to do. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, because I'm a programmer and I'm looking for a high-paying job. I have a decent paying job right now, working in the government, but it could be better. But what's to say that the government's not going to outsource my job to some Indian person who can do the same thing as I can do, but way cheaper? So I want to know what your thoughts are on that whole idea.
So what's your central question about Elon? Like, what's your central question?
Okay, so number one, I'm asking if you can address the controversy, because Elon obviously has a lot of power now that he owns Twitter, converted to X, and people are starting to say that, oh, he really exposed himself this Christmas. So I want to know your thoughts on that. Like, what are your thoughts on Elon making comments about the tech industry where it comes to like keeping talent in the U.S.? That's my first question. My second question is, how do you feel about Americans who are in the tech industry trying to get a job for decent money and being replaced by these cheap outsourced people who are apparently working much harder for less money.
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, what Elon said is right, and I think Elon would know because he's a big tech guy. So he knows kind of what's going on. And you need to have the best talent in the country. When you start to lose your best talent, you're going to lose your competitive edge. So you want to keep your best talent. And then as far as the whole outsourcing to what basically is Indians, and then they say, oh, well, they work so hard. They're doing labor that's not that difficult for a small amount of money. That's all that's going on. So you want to have more of that here in the States rather than sending it elsewhere. I mean, we can't really continue offshoring all of our jobs if we want Americans to have jobs. And also, I would add on to that, we need to be educating our kids for the jobs that are going to be available in the future rather than a lot of the old school ways of doing things, which are not going to be that effective.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we should be looking for talent here as much as we can, but I understand that it's like tempting for big tech companies to hire Indians or outsource tech jobs for cheaper to other countries, even though they do have to go through like sort of an extensive visa process just to get the work visa to actually work here. But in the end, it's still more profitable for the company to hire Indian workers to do those same jobs. And so I think the point that Elon is making is that why should we not hire people who are very talented in other countries if they're going to work for cheaper? But I think that like sort of puts Americans on the back burner who want to get paid regular American wages. So I think that's why it's such a controversy right now. And that's why I wanted to know what you thought. So thanks for your feedback, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to want to outsource stuff. They feel like they could get it cheaper for somewhere else. They want to outsource it. But really, I mean, you want to keep as many jobs here in the States as possible. And like I said, if there's an issue with talent here and we got to go elsewhere to find it, that means we need to really do our best to train talent here and not be worried about all this woke stuff that ain't gonna make a difference. Worry about the jobs of the future. All right, let's go to the phone lines are blowing up. Y'all please hang tight. 860, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing, brother? It's Hey Ranger Xbox.
All right, man, I'm good. What's going on?
I've got to turn my tablet volume down. I don't want it feedback. Oh, it was just that poor black woman down there in Georgia. Somebody gave her white privilege for Christmas. I wish they'd knock it off. I feel bad for her. I truly do. That judge needs to be taken out and caned. He needs to be sent to Singapore, put him out there and get the bamboo cane and give him a few whacks. That'll straighten his head out. Just like you said with the iron. Change his attitudes. That judge needs to. He ain't following the Constitution. He ain't following no legal laws. How in the world are you going to give somebody that breaks into somebody's house ownership of that house?
It's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Totally crazy.
It is, sir. I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a Happy New Year. All these store closings is a result of the past 4 years. When Bill Clinton took office, he gained all the rewards that Ronald Reagan instituted in his policies and rode that wave. And then when he was done, set it on fire. I watched everything in real time. I've been watching these clowns. I was never political until the second term of Obama. His second, like when you changed, I was all for Obama. He fooled me, just like he fooled a bunch of other people. He suckered me in, but he only fooled me once. After that, I got my eyes on you. It ain't happening again. That man is a traitor. And I got fired from my job for making a video about the stolen election. So Trump ever finds out that I got fired from a defense contractor about complaining about the stolen election, I'm pretty sure I'd get my job back at Pratt & Whitney. But Anthony, you have a great day. A Happy New Year for everybody. God bless America. We're getting our country back. Let's do it, people. Hell yeah. I'm sorry about the cussing, but yeah. God bless America.
Peace.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, all the good stuff. Help me out tremendously. All right. Let's keep rocking here. Let's go to, all right. Caller on line speaker to 207.
Hello, ABL.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Serge from Colorado.
All righty. What's going on?
Yeah, Merry Christmas from 7,000 feet.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, right on, man. So, yeah, I was saying in the chat the last time that I was going to just tell you all, but I'll make it real quick because people kind of jumped my case the last time I didn't cut to the story, you know. So I'm just going to say this. My dad grew up with Bruce Springsteen, and I can tell you all here in the chat and everything, he's an absolute phony. I know that for a fact. That's from my old man who grew up with him. Like, I'm straight up too. You can ask me any question, man. Like, I'm being straight up, dude. Like, they played in bands together, and he knew him before he hit the big time. He grew up with him in Jersey. So, yeah, I just wanted that's the long story short right there, man. So I know I had said that in the chat the last time, and you know, he talks this big game about how, you know, I'm a big rebel and, you know, I'm a big protester and all this jazz. Well, back in the day, he was hiding in his bedroom while my dad was out on the streets of Freehold, New Jersey. And so his whole image to me is always been, you know, until I realized it, you know, as a kid. I don't know how old you are. I assume you're around the same age as me, you know, when you were a kid in the 80s, or, you know, you were in high school maybe, you know. So, you know, it's like Bruce Springsteen, you know, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm telling the long story now. My dad, and you can shut me up anytime. My dad had always said, oh yeah, you know, I grew up with Bruce Springsteen, and then my grandmother also said that, right? And I was like, yeah, you know, you hear stories, right? So what happened was I met my wife, right, years later, and she's one of those computer people. So she's like, you know, I tell her this old wives' tale, you know, oh, my dad grew up with Bruce Springsteen, you know. I never looked into it, you know. I just kind of took him on his word, but I never wanted to say anything. Well, she went online and she did all this sleuthing, right? And it turned out like he ended up getting phone calls from all these authors and stuff. I'm sorry if I swear. I'm trying to do better this time. So my dad's he's living out in the middle of nowhere in Maine, you know, before he passed away, and he's getting all these phone calls. And I remember he's like, you know, he thought it was cool, but, you know, he was laying it straight, you know what I mean? So it was, you know, and I don't know. I figured I'd let you all know that because, you know, you see him on stage and all this stuff. And I can tell you from the old days, man, like, you know, he wasn't a rabble rouser, you know. My dad was, but he wasn't. So, you know, like they'd go into the city together, you know, they go into New York, and they jam together, and my dad went to Juilliard. He went to the Juilliard for the violin. He was classically trained, and but they go into the city, and, you know, they were in different bands. They'd go to these different places, you know, all these big, you know, it was crazy. I could go on and on, but anyways, that's the long story, ABL. And I just wanted to, because I promised I would say that stuff the last time, so I did it. And now you all can make fun of me, and Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for the call, man. Merry Christmas. All right, so shout out to Bruce Springsteen. Hey, somewhere Bruce Springsteen is shaking the fist. He's punching the air right now. Bruce Springsteen is punching the air right now. Okay, he's not liking what is being said right now on ABL Live. So shout out to him. Let's go to 559. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. About yourself?
Good, man. Hey, Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year to you and everybody in the chat. And I hope that this new year is nothing but good health, good fortune, and good times for everybody. So I just was wanting your take on Biden pardoning all the death row inmates. I guess 37 out of the 40 he got them to serve, or commuted them to serve life sentences, and some of them were even offenders of children. And so I was just, reading Trump's scathing Twitter responses about that towards Biden. And I mean, if I had a voice like Trump, it would be 1,000 times worse. But anyway, I was wondering what your opinion on all that was, and what that was about to begin with. What's the whole point? I don't understand.
Well, I think, first of all, I think it's crazy that he did that, because these people did not deserve to get their sentences commuted, because you're talking about people that have violated children, murderers.
Right.
I don't, there's not really a thing where it's like, okay, it was a non-violent crime. No, very violent, heinous crimes, and they were on death row for a reason. So I don't like it. And I think what sparked it, or what we know about publicly, is that there was some calls from Congress for him to do that, talking about, oh, you gotta, basically help repeal the death penalty. So he was able to repeal some of these cases that may have been a federal thing. So that was the whole thing, basically taking a stand against the death penalty, which I don't believe in general. Some people need to actually go ahead and get put down.
Yeah, right. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, as soon as they're convicted, just as you say, walk them right out back and be done with it. With him commuting all these disgusting people that don't deserve another breath on this earth, I think that that gives Trump all the ammunition to pardon every single J6 quote unquote prisoner, and also any soldier or wrongfully accused veteran that is currently sitting in jail with these absurd sentences and god awful charges that literally hold no merit to them at all. And do you think that we'll see that from Trump? Do you think on day one that he will start pardoning all these J6 people like he has been promising?
I believe so. Because it's been a long time. We see what Biden is doing with the pardons. If Biden can pardon a child sex offender, then I think Trump could pardon the mamaw that went to the Capitol on a guided tour from the police. I think we can do that. I don't think it's going to be a really big deal. Right.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I see that happening as well. It's literally at this point, Biden is without unequivocal doubt, I think, the worst president that has ever sat in the Oval Office in our entire history. And doing this just, put the nail in the coffin on that for sure. So ABL, I'll leave you with that. God bless you, sir. And God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All righty, Les, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, happy Friday. I'm sorry. Oh, Friday. Oh, my goodness, Wednesday. I'm already getting sleepy at that time of day, ABL, with the age.
Oh, it's all good. And it's, it's kind of, you get Christmas and it's middle of the week. So I thought it was the weekend for a while myself. So I understand where you're coming from.
I'm trying to push Friday to come a little too early, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
So actually I want to start off just with a question. One of the little patriots, the oldest one, she wanted to know whether it's personally or politically. Mine is President Trump's win, because everybody's really excited about that. What was the most wonderful moment or memory that you have experienced this year?
So was the question about just in general or in relation to Trump's win?
She's just asking whether it's like personally or politically besides Trump winning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good question, because this year's been a lot. There's been a lot going on this year. I don't even know. I can't really. Wow, that's actually a pretty deep question. Personally or politically, I have to get back to you on that one. I'm gonna try to think about that and then answer it before we get off.
All righty, sounds great. She's just chuckling over here. She's hearing you. And I just wanted to go ahead and just mention the whole the crime that happened out there with the illegal in NYC. Mm-hmm. I think that we all know that's one of many prime examples as to why they should have never been here in the first place, and they should have been gone since yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. They should have been gone. I mean, this whole thing with the illegal aliens is ridiculous. And shame on the Biden administration, because we've been saying for a long time, look, these people are terrorizing us. They're causing all kind of crime and violence. You got to send them back. And then when we say that, they say you're racist. It's like, I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they come from. They're from all over the world. Africa, Europe, South America. I don't care where they come from. If they're over here illegally, they got to go. And they're causing problems. They're causing crime. Nah, got to go.
Exactly. So now in reality, what I want to know, and I'm actually really looking forward to this, is if this current administration and anyone else involved, because we have sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, like the state of Illinois, for example. I want to know if they're all honestly going to end up facing any type of responsibility for in reality, the blood that they have on their hands, ABL, because I mean, again, if this wasn't allowed to begin with, I mean, a lot of these lives would have still been here today. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder. We shall see. But I mean, the way it traditionally goes, and you know how it goes, ABO. Everyone that watches knows how it goes. That usually the Democrats are really good with not taking any accountability or actually being put in that position to take accountability whatsoever. So we'll see. But I thought that was a very heinous crime. I thought, in my honest opinion, it's like I said, ABL, and I'm sorry, it's the truth. Anybody from the South America, even from Guatemala, those type of people that you're gonna get over here, it's a whole different type of breed of an animal versus what we see out here, even in the streets of Chicago with the gang violence. It's a whole nother situation. But anyways, I think that's actually all I wanted to comment on. Actually, wait, 1 second, Evia. Yes, what you said and what everyone's saying. Can January 20th come any faster? And I cannot wait for Tom Holman to clock in as soon as he can, ASAP, and actually take on, go on his word, right? Take action on his word and start in the streets of Chicago. So I'm actually really looking forward to that as well. And I wanted to allow the little patriots to say goodnight and wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
Good night. Good night, y'all. Thank you for calling. There we go. Good Merry Christmas. Thank y'all for calling. Appreciate y'all always.
Take care, ABL. You have a wonderful night.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to Les and the youngins. So I'm going to answer the oldest question. Shout out to the oldest if you're watching. I'm going to answer your question. Probably the best moment for me this year was I had randomly lost. I randomly went on a miniature health journey. I lost like 20 pounds just from doing random stuff. I was just like, I'm already a healthy person, but I just kicked it up a notch. So I really got really fit. Kind of randomly, just because I wanted to see what I could do with myself and just test myself and test my body. So that's probably the best moment for me personally this year. All right. And then, I don't know, it kind of just put me in a different level mentally. So when I'm going on podcasts, making personal appearances, I just feel much better. I feel like I'm ready for prime time. I was already ready for prime time. I was always like front row center. I've always been that kid, front row center. That's always been me. Every picture you see of me, hold on, I'm going to show a picture right quick. You guys have probably already seen it, but I'm going to show it again. Like, this that I'm going to show you. This is always me. All right. So I'm always like ready for the camera, always ready to be front row center. You see me. You don't even got to ask who's who. I'm always ready to be in front of the camera, always ready to be front. I'm 3 years old. It's my third birthday party. And the reason why I posted this is because Candace Owens had put up a post. And shout out to Candace, nothing against her. Big fan of Candace. Listen. When Candace Owens become the president, I want to be the White House spokesperson. I want to replace Karine Jean-Pierre and all the rest of them. The spokesperson, press secretary, or whatever. I want to be there. But I've always been front row and center. But when you look a lot better, you feel a lot better, and you're even more confident being able to be front row center, being the guy that's going to be talking, being a leader, which I've always been. That's me. Yep. No, that's not me. That's me. That's not me in the back. That's my cousin in the back. Shout out to him. That's my cousin in the front right there too. I just saw her the other day. Oh, and Candace Owens' post was saying that she's never bought her kids a birthday or Christmas gift because they're real young, between 1 and 3. And she never gave them a birthday party. I'm like, a birthday party, that's something that you really need. It's like a core memory. And kids look forward to the parties. They look forward to being able to talk to their friends and their cousins and have a good time. And it don't got to be nothing that's really major. You don't got to go all out. Right here, we're in the hood. This is in Portsmouth, Virginia. We're in the hood, the real hood. We got a birthday cake and some orange soda and some hats, and we're having a good time. That's all you need. Parents want to do so much with their kids, want to go do all this extravagant stuff, Sweet 16, spending a bunch of money. You don't got to do all that. All we had was the cake and some orange soda, hats, and we good. Great time. So when High Twins were asking me, how was your childhood? I'm like, well, it was good. We were real broke at one point, but it was always good. Friends, family, always good. All right, let's keep on rolling. Let's see, the number to call. Y'all know what it is. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Anonymous caller, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Sarah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Everything's good. What's on your mind?
Oh, sorry. I was surprised when you answered. I've been calling a few times wanting to say this, but I just want to say Merry Christmas to you. I won't take a lot of your time. My late mother loved you. I made a comment in chat about this, but she died 2 years ago, so she wasn't able to see Trump's victory, which would have been amazing to her. But she thought you were great, and she would tell all of our family members about you. I think you might be pretty responsible in turning a lot of them conservative. So I wanted to get to say Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you for the call and Merry Christmas. I appreciate your story. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Hey, that always warms my heart when I hear stories like that. RIP to your mom. I'm sure she was a great person, a great woman, a great mother. So shout out to her. Shout out to you guys as well. Hopefully I'm able to influence people to think the right way. I always appreciate stories like that. Oh, and somebody said, why didn't I have any ice cream? I never liked ice cream, actually. I couldn't drink milk. So some types of dairy products I couldn't do. A cake is okay, but when you're talking about ice cream and all that kind of stuff, I never was an ice cream fan. Not really. My cousins and them, they might want to have ice cream, but since the party is Anthony's party, Anthony don't like no ice cream. Just give me a cake and some orange soda and I'm good. All right, let's go 808. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Bennett calling from Maui. Do you remember 808?
I don't remember, but shout out to you, man.
Yeah, this is maybe my 4th time talking with the ABL. Love you. Love the chat. Unbelievable. 2024 is over almost. And how lit is 25 going to be?
Oh, it's going to be amazing, man. I can't wait.
Canada, going to be our 51st state. We're going to get the Panama Canal back. The wars are going to be done. It's going to be unbelievable.
Right on. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to touch base. You know, ABL, it's been a little bit of a long road, man. I've been in this fight since 2015 when that gentleman came down the escalator. I know you've been around doing this show for, when did you start this podcast?
2015.
Dude, so we've been in the fight now, man. Here we go. 10 years almost, right?
That's right.
Man, unbelievable. If I think back to when maybe I found your channel, you know, and in this fight and everything we've gone through from 2016, when you would put on a red MAGA hat and you would be the target walking down the street, to now people literally come up and like high five you and give you a big hug. I mean, there's something different about 2024, this second election there's something different, and it feels good. 2016 was awesome, but it was still like, you know, you were a different breed, you know, going out and proudly representing Mr. Trump, you know?
Absolutely. 100% correct.
You know, and yeah, man, 2015, he came down, man, and here we go, 2024. I'm calling from Maui, Hawaii, which obviously it's 6 p.m. It was a beautiful day, 80 degrees. You know, we took some kids surfing today, put some smiles on some faces. I'm thankful for, you know, even every little thing that's around me and that I got. And, yeah, man, this is insane. I know you've been doing this for a while, and I appreciate every single time I pop on YouTube and there's ABL Live. What do? I get on the phone and see if I can get through to the chat, get through to you, and we're all in this together, guys. We're not alone, buddy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I just want to say thank you for doing the live today. Merry Christmas to everybody. Being that I'm in Hawaii, we are the last place in the dateline, so the sun has just set. It's 6 p.m. I'm going to go to my AA meeting and have a nice night. And I just want to say thanks, and let's go, man. 2025, let's go, buddy.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you take care. I'll talk to you soon, ABL.
All righty.
Ciao.
All right, shout out to the caller, and shout out to you guys. Shout out to Hawaii out there in the sun and fun. Let's go to 781. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. This is Peter from Boston. How you doing?
I'm well, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Merry Christmas. So you were talking earlier about the two guys that adopted that kid, and you asked a rhetorical question, but I wanted to make it less rhetorical and hear what your thoughts are, if you have thoughts, or if you'd rather me say my thoughts first, and then you can kind of nitpick. What do you think? Well, you can ask your question. Well, you said, what should, it used to be illegal, or used to not be allowed to adopt a kid if you're two gay guys, whatever. It's an interesting thought, because I think that if two gay guys need to adopt a kid, then they should be able to. And I think that what those guys did is abhorrent. And I feel like they're, obviously they're a minority. You know what I mean? Like, two gay guys adopting a child, that child is no, theoretically is in no more danger than a straight heterosexual marriage adopting a girl, from in danger of the man assaulting. You know what I mean? So I don't think that it's something that it needs to be thought about. I mean, there's those kind of creeps that exist left and right. They're all over the place, unfortunately. And every now and then they pop out and they show, they go arrested, they get sent in the clink, and unfortunately a child has their life sort of destroyed. But I don't think that the question of like, should it be allowed? Like, I definitely think it should be allowed. I think, would you agree that the vast majority of gay couples that seek to adopt have totally good intentions? Or what do you think? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, right. I mean, that's just my assumption, I guess. But I guess my assumption is based off the fact that, like, I know a few gay people that are perfectly harmless. So, like, I assume that they're all perfectly harmless. But maybe that's an ignorant assumption. I don't know. I guess that's a good question. Maybe it is a good question. I mean, okay, so let me ask you a question. Why do you think that it was legal in the first place for gay men to adopt children? I think maybe it came from a lot of. I thought it came from a lot of religion. I think back when our country was more religious, and how it is in the Bible, how they don't allow gay marriage in Catholic churches and Christian church. Well, I don't know about I know Catholic churches, but I think as the country kind of stepped farther away from religion, I think a lot of policies that came inspired from religion sort of began to wane a little bit as well. I think that might have been why it existed in the first place. But if there's a reason, I'd be very curious to learn about it. I'm always open to that. That's the way I see it. Like unfortunately, our country has sort of drifted away from religion. Some people might say fortunately. I don't know. I say unfortunate. I think life without spirituality is not life at all.
All right, so
that's what I think.
I'm gonna give you a clue. Now, at one point, homosexuality was considered a mental illness. So why would you want a mentally ill person to adopt children?
So I'm wondering, like, so when you look at transgender stuff, that is gender dysphoria. That is, as according to my DSM-5 manual, a psychological serious condition. Like, it's no good. That's bad stuff. It's like schizophrenia, but on a different level. So, and I feel pity for people who are genuinely gender dysphoric. I mean, it's becoming popular now, and they're forcing it on children, which is disgusting. But if you genuinely have that disease, I mean, that sucks. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's no good. It's bad stuff. So, has it been forced down our throats to say that being gay is not a disease, and you have to believe that, and if you don't, you're going to get sent to the PC prison? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Am I a product of being around, like, being told that, it's okay, and then I'm like, oh, I guess it is okay. I'm wondering now. That's a good question you ask. That's interesting. Like 100 years from now, if things went going the way that the Democrats wanted, would gender dysphoria be removed from the DSM-5, and then would it now be considered? 100 years from now, would it be then considered like, oh, it's totally normal, like we look at being gay? I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm just saying, I think that's, people need to kind of understand that if you have mental disorders and you can already see that's going on, then you're not a good candidate to adopt kids. I mean, heterosexual people have a lot of hard times adopting children sometimes, and they're not even bad people. So why would someone with an obvious mental illness be allowed to adopt children? That'd be kind of what I look at it from. It wouldn't even be about religion, just about the stability of someone mentally to be able to have children and raise them properly.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to is can the children be raised in a healthy environment? And then, you got the people that will disagree with what a healthy environment is, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I think what bothers me that I see a lot, my son does jujitsu. We both do jujitsu. And when I go to the kids class, there's a gay couple that brings their son, and their son is like 5 years old. I mean, he's a little kid. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He just wants to play with toys and whatever. But I see them and they have him, with all the pink. He's a boy, so he's got pink water bottle, pink this, pink that. He's got his a pink gi. It's like they're pushing this on him, like. And I say, some people might say, oh, a boy can pick pink too. But to me, it's like, I don't know. They've done the tests. Like, we know how boys and girls think differently. I mean, we've done it. It's been done thousands of times. You can't deny it. Like, boys tend to want to play with trucks, cars, this, that, the other. Like, even if you have no independent variables, we know it. So I see that. And I see this boy, and I just can't imagine what they talk about at the dinner table. And it's like, these two gay guys have this child, and they're going to make him gay. I mean, there's no question about it. And to me, if I were actually a gay person, that would make me upset, because if you encourage children to be gay, you're just creating a population of gay people that might not actually be gay, that get older and then end up being straight, and then they cause trauma and problems for, it's just that, to me, is not a healthy environment for that kid. And could two gay guys raise a boy and be totally objective about it and let that kid grow up? And would they buy him trucks, or would they buy, you know what I mean? Like, would they try to raise him very effeminately? I think the odds are that they probably would try to do that, which is unfortunate. I guess that's I don't know, but I'm seeing it happen to this poor kid, and I say poor kid, and it seems perfectly happy. I'm
gonna cut you off. But I got a little bit of time, so thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Avery. Have a good night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right. Shout out to the caller. But yeah, man, we got to do things that make sense here. I'll take a few more calls, or a couple more calls. I ain't going to say few. All right. Skype caller, who am I speaking to? Hello.
Oh, hey, ABL. It's Danny. How you doing, mate?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, good. It's a good. Thanks. Been a while. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it, mate.
No problem.
Yeah, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you and everyone in the chat. Hope you've had a blessed day.
Right on, man. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, cool, mate. Yeah, and congratulations on getting Trump back in office. I mean, that's fantastic news, man. I stayed up for your live stream on that night, and yeah, I was really chuffed when you saw the results, and that was really good news.
Oh, definitely, man. I'm glad you were able to hang in there with us. Like, what time was it for you when the stream was done?
I think I remember watching your stream and then going to sleep and then waking up about 6 or 7 in the morning, if I can remember correctly. And then I remember turning your stream back on and then seeing Trump walk out for the press conference or whatever it was. And I knew instantly, he'd won. And I was just I jumped up and I was just dancing around my room.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, that was just a joke, that last bit, but I was happy. But yeah, I just wanted to say, so he basically won the electoral and the popular vote. I mean, it hasn't been done from a Republican president for a long time, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Hopefully, the world needs Trump, not just America. I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole world's kind of dying for Trump to get back in office right now and sort all this crap out. I mean, hope maybe after he's finished this last term, he can come over to the UK and run for prime minister over here and sort this bloody country out, because we need it, man.
Yeah, I've been seeing some things over there. It's pretty rough. Like, Canada's having a hard time, UK having a hard time, America was having a hard time under Biden and Harris. So I'm glad we got at least one of those fixed.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to quickly ask you. I'll try to be really quick. I mean, so what do you think the tactics are going to be now from the Democratic Party and the media, with Trump coming to office now for another 4 years? I mean, because his first term, they pretty much threw everything at him, all the impeachments, all the smear campaigns, the constant lies, constantly twisting everything he said. And then you had him, obviously, when he was declaring that he was running again to be president, then they started the attacks again, all these allegations, all these charges, these assassination attempts. I mean, they pretty much have done everything. I mean, because I've had this chat with my mate about what do you think they're going to do now, and he's like, well, they've been too quiet recently. They've accepted the results. They've got something up their sleeve, something big that they're going to do to him. And I'm like, well, but what else can they do to the man, though? I mean, they've literally threw everything at him. So what other choices do they have? I mean, because if they keep repeating what they was doing before, I mean, they're just going to wake more and more people up, right? And they're just going to turn more and more people against them. Or am I wrong with that?
Well, what's going to happen, they're going to just try to use the media against them because they've exhausted all their other options. They keep trying to, they had the drone thing over New Jersey. They may try to do that. But the main thing is going to be the media constantly put on misinformation, twisting things that he says, because there's still a lot of people who just hate Trump and whatever he says is the worst thing in the world. And they're going to keep up with that. So that'll be all they can do, just use the media. But beyond that, there's not much they can do because all of what they have done, all of what they have tried did not work this time.
Yeah, exactly. And it showed in the election, didn't it? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just don't think they've got anything mischievous or big planned, and I just think that, as you said, they've just exhausted pretty much all of their options. And they're probably just going to go back to the drawing board and just do as you said and just use the media to twist people's minds against him as they usually do.
Right, of course.
All right, ABL. Yeah, don't want to take up too much time, mate. But yeah, thanks again for taking my call, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the holidays. And shout out to you, man, and everyone in the chat. Hope you have a good night. Take care, mate.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, see ya. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's go to 215 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
I didn't think I was going to get through. I didn't know if I was going to get through tonight or not, but I'm glad I got through.
Right on. So what's happening?
So honestly, ABL, I'm really shocked that you streamed on Christmas Day. I was like, once I saw the notification pop up, I was like, oh, I was just completely caught off guard that you decided to stream on Christmas Day.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
But other than how was your Christmas though?
Oh, it was good, man. You know, just real chill, real relaxed.
Yeah, I heard that, but I wanted to talk about when I seen the guy set the woman on fire on the train. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm desensitized to a lot of stuff because most of the graphic videos nowadays you can just find them on Instagram. But when I watched that video without the censorship, I was just like I was still mortified by that. I was just beyond sick, and I said, "Oh God, I couldn't even look at it because it was just something you just don't want to see."
Yeah, I knew that was going to be something I didn't want to see from the beginning. Like there's some things, there's some gruesome things that you really don't want. Like when you see somebody like being decapitated, somebody that's got chopped up, or somebody that's burning alive. Some things you just wish you could unsee if you saw it.
Yeah, I was like that because I've seen people videos, shootings and all that kind of stuff. But that I was like, I said, wow, that was horrible. I'd rather wish I just imagined it or see it in a movie instead of in real time. Right,
of course.
But yeah, and another thing I want to touch on. So now I see that I started to notice. I heard a lot of people say about Eric Adams, including Anton Daniels, because they said Eric Adams is basically they feel like he's switching sides. Basically, he's trying to like pander to Trump, hoping that he'll get a pardon. What do you think about that?
I mean, people can say that. I mean, I guess that's a thing you can just say, and it makes sense to people because that's what the average person's mind would think. But at the same time, he's dealing with a serious problem in the city. Like New York City's been inundated with the migrants. That's his main thing. I don't think Eric Adams is a conservative. I think he's just wanting to not have New York City be ruined because it's clear what's going on. So why would you stay with the party line of allowing all the illegal aliens in when you having to cut city services to pay for the illegal aliens when they have nowhere to go? They're in the streets causing problem, causing chaos. He's got to do something. So I don't think that he is trying to get a pardon. I think the only reason why the charges happened is because he spoke out against the migrant crisis. Now all of a sudden they got charges. Okay, Trump even called it. Trump said as soon as he started questioning the Biden administration, as soon as he began to speak out, they're going to indict him. And sure enough, they did. And remember, when they first started to sniff on him and make things public, he was on the plane. Remember this story. He was on the plane going to the White House to talk about the migrant crisis. And then they raid his assistant. As he's on the plane, that was a message. Hey, now you're getting too close. Back off. And he didn't, and then they wound up indicting him. So I don't think it's about that. I think the only reason why he got charged is because of some political stuff from D.C. because of the migrant crisis.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And the last thing before I the last thing I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, they're saying I'm hearing on some YouTube channels now. They're saying Che Uger, he's basically being a grifter. Before they were against MAGA, and now all of a sudden they want to talk to MAGA. They're been saying Che Uger and the TYT crowd are now just grifters because now they're trying to talk to MAGA and trying to understand them a little bit. And my thing is, they said before you guys used to be part of the left. Now all of a sudden you're becoming part of the right. And I said, no, they're not really moving towards the right. They're just not associating with the far left. And I think that's what a lot of people who are criticizing them for wanting to talk to certain people on the right are not understanding.
People get on YouTube and just say anything, really, because what's happening with the Young Turks is that they are still the same as they've been the whole time. But now they're starting to have more in common with what has become the mainstream Republican Party. And they have less in common with what has become the mainstream Democratic Party. As long as I've been watching YouTube, I've never seen Young Turks get on their airwaves and promote transgender surgery for children. Now, maybe I missed something, but I don't think I've ever seen them do that. What's happening with Young Turks is the same thing that's happening to your Bill Maher's and maybe even to Joe Rogan. These are normal liberals, normal normies who have now been pushed to kind of conservativeville because their normal liberal ideology no longer fits with mainstream Democratic politics. That's what's happening. So when you see a Bill Maher talking to somebody on the right, don't think Bill Maher is a conservative. No, he's just a regular person who can have a conversation better with somebody on the right than he can somebody on the left.
So yeah, basically that's what's going on. Because I was about to say, I don't think their stance has changed.
No,
they're just the left is just like they said before. The left has gone too far left.
Correct.
Got it. Yeah. All right, that makes perfect sense. Well, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Merry Christmas. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas to you. All right, let me get one more phone call. Then I wrap it on up, put the bone on top. Let's go to 818 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. Thank you and Merry Christmas. One of the things I wanted to point out tonight was actually the thing that's happening out in California, and how everybody is celebrating that now they're finally arresting people and putting felonies on them. And the thing is, I was born and raised out in LA, and to me it just looks like another dog and pony show. I moved out a couple of years ago, but I think they're just trying to do this for a political reason, to show that, oh, we're doing something, and I probably guarantee 2-3 months later, it's going to go right back to the way it is. They have a bad habit of already having things on the laws and picking and choosing whatever to enforce. So, unfortunately, even the two ladies that went viral, I wouldn't be surprised 2-3 months down they just drop all charges.
Now to be clear, you're talking about the Prop 36.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because even though it was voted on, I've seen it before where laws were voted on, and politicians that will pick and choose or they'll just outright ignore laws that were voted on. It's part of the reason why I moved out, is because I had enough of it. And, like I said, I think it's just a dog and pony show. I know a lot of people are celebrating it, but I wouldn't count all my chickens before the roost. I really think 2-3 months down, it's going to go right back to the same thing. I think they're just putting these other people out and with the dash cams and everything else, just to show that they're doing something. But it wouldn't surprise me if it goes right back to the same, shortly after. I just wanted to put that out there. Didn't want to sound like a downer Debbie or anything like that. It's just I just find it really funny how people are just praising it online, but nobody's pointing out the historical thing, just like the border wall and stuff like that. We didn't really need to put another law in. They just needed to enforce what was already on the books. They just refused to do it.
Right on, of course.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate for joining me on this Christmas day. Thank you for being here. I'll be back live again on Saturday, same bat time, same bat place as always. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded videos. We're on Rumble, of course. Shout out to the Rumble people. What we got on Rumble? Let's go look at Rumble right quick and see what we have as far as subscribers over there. Let's see, 741. Okay, we're doing good. I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. By what's that going to be? Wednesday, the 1st? That's next week will be 2025. Can you believe it? Next week will be 2025. That is wild. But yeah, here we go. I am on Rumble. You guys check me out, follow, subscribe, and you could tell that it's me because I got the verification symbol and you see my name, of course. Y'all know who I am. Check me out on Rumble. And I'm everywhere on social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm there. Check me out. Go to the website, anthonyblogan.com. Go to the contact page. You can see all my social media links, my email address, email address, all that good stuff. Alrighty. And what else do I have? Oh, this is an audio streaming podcast as well. It'll be in your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and actually pop right up. Just search ABL Live. I said that wrong, but you got the message. Alrighty. What else we got going on? More super chats. Do I have some more? Let me see if I got some more. I think I got all super chats, but thank y'all for being here, for watching, retweeting, super chatting. I could not do this show without you. Shout out to everybody for just joining in. The mods, keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. That'll be a wrap for me. So to all, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you enjoyed your Christmas day. You're going to enjoy the Christmas night and enjoy the rest of your week. New Year's coming up. Enjoy that as well. Don't get too drunk off of them. Don't be like Kamala out there on the road drinking that good barefoot wine, all that good stuff. What they call them, lemon drops. Don't be getting too drunk off of those and start driving your vehicle. If you want to get drinking, don't drive. Take an Uber, taxi, walk, get on a bicycle like them bikers be out there with the pistol on them. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't get behind the wheel of a car and call yourself driving. Enjoy yourself responsibly. All right, that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.